They don't make a whole lot off that, do they, Rockstar, if they didn't write them?
You're also going to consider, too, if you're on tour consistently, you're selling out. People are going to go back and I want to do a playlist with George because I just saw him. I want to do so people start to listen to your music. It's you're staying in the discussion.
I mean, it's all about touring now. You got to tour.
Yes.
And now, look, hey, you know who's never announced a retirement tour is Willie Nelson. That guy, he will die on stage.
I was thinking when I was watching that, what was it called? The Greatest Night in Pop?
Yeah.
We were talking about the documentary. And seeing Willie there, I was like, damn, he was in his 50s then.
He was
only 50s? Well, probably.
That was
that was 40
80s.
years ago.
Yeah.
But he was old then.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Taylor Swift, obviously, she made the announcement of her new album coming out. How's that going to work, Rockstar? She's still doing the other tour, the Eras tour, and her new album is going to drop April 19th. That tour is still going to be going on.
A lot of bands, it's crazy. A lot of bands will have like a new album coming out, but they're not going. They may tease one single. That's it. We're not going to play anything for the new. Then you're just going to have to wait till the next tour. We keep going. I want to keep your thirst. She doesn't like publicity, though. She'll be shy about it.
How about Seth? He says, I told my girlfriend yesterday the king had cancer, and she says, George has cancer? You better marry that girl. Don't let that one go, Seth.
Literally the king of England.
Yeah.
Seth, right? Yep. It turns out that way.
I prefer King George.
All right, that's our show today. A lot of basketball talk tomorrow from Tuscaloosa and Auburn as the Tide rolls down to Auburn in the rematch of the two SEC leaders right now, Alabama, Auburn, South Carolina, Tennessee in the mix as well. And, of course, we've got some basketball tonight. We'll see if Ole Miss can get right against hot South Carolina, and Kentucky tries to get right at Vanderbilt in the SEC. We're back with you tomorrow, 9 a.m. Central Time. Until next time, God bless you and God bless America.
Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. The social media team at Next Round Live will share the latest interviews and videos from UAB, Alabama, Auburn, and campuses all over the college landscape. You'll also get the latest highlights and news from the Next Round Live Daily Show. Jim, Lance, and Ryan will share their thoughts, and remember, you can always see the old shows on the Next Round Live YouTube channel. Subscribe, like, and don't forget to comment. Turn on the notifications so you don't miss a thing. It's Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube.
You've been wearing that thin, raggedy t-shirt for years now, and people cannot stop whispering and staring in your vicinity. We've all been there. Luckily, there's a solution to your lack of fashion and social cues. At NextRound.store, they have plenty of options when it comes to a variety of shirts and hats. Once you start putting that Next Round gear on, be prepared to make new lifelong friends and hundreds of unforgettable conversations. Hope you like random high fives in the street, because that's what you're getting after visiting NextRound.store.
Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. The social media team at Next Round Live is dedicated to giving you daily news conferences and practice video from UAB, Alabama, Auburn, and around college football. Follow and compare to the sites you used to visit. You'll also get the latest highlights and news from the Next Round Daily Show. Turn on the notifications so you don't miss a thing. Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. See more at nextroundlive.com.
You want to look great while supporting your favorite show? You know the place to go is the official Next Round store at nextround.store. Yes, there are .store domains, and we have one. From shirts to hoodies to hats and all kinds of fun stuff, you can rep the Next Round anywhere you go. At the beach, Next Round hats to block out that sun. Up north in the winter, get you a comfy Next Round hoodie. Just need something to put your $20 beer in at a game? Get you a Next Round koozie and throw that thing in your pocket. You never know what stuff Jim's going to make me put in there next. Check it out. It's the Next Round store at nextround.store.
The Double Down Media podcast family is live and full of content for all ages. The Mystery Fifth Hour gives the Next Round host a chance to talk about everything but sports. Pour a glass of Bama and Bourbon, our weekly college football conversation, while sipping on some of the most interesting pours in the bourbon world. And in our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call, LT takes off the gloves for in-depth conversations with stars like Taylor Hicks, presented by Redmont Vodka. Find these podcasts and more by searching The Next Round on Apple, Spotify, and on our website, nextroundlive.com.
Take the Next Round anywhere you go with official Next Round gear. Buy yours today at nextround.store. Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the Next Round presented by Bud Light, is on now.
What used to be the biggest day in off-season of college football, sort of an afterthought now, but a couple of big five-star guys still trying to make it official today, National Signing Day. We'll keep you updated on that. The Ryan Williams signing expected to happen about 1 hour from now. But it's big basketball day here in the state. Only the 6th time ever Alabama and Auburn play each other in basketball when both are ranked in the AP Top 25.
I saw you tweet that earlier today. I guess it doesn't really surprise me because, as I said earlier this week, these are the glory days of the Alabama-Auburn rivalry. Soak it in. In basketball, you're not guaranteed this forever. Bruce Pearl and Nate Oats are tremendous coaches, and they've both done a tremendous job at two respective programs. But after they leave, you're not guaranteed that it continues. Maybe it will, but we have never in my lifetime had it this good at the same time. There have been times where one's good and the other's bad. Rarely, if ever, have they been this good at the same time for this long. And as I pointed out, there have been 6 of the last 9 trophies in the SEC have gone to Alabama or Auburn. They are among the 3 teams that are running the SEC right now, Alabama, Auburn, Tennessee. This is as good as it gets, man. Soak it in.
I get these sports newsletters every day, and the biggest college sports and one of the biggest sports events in the nation today is Alabama-Auburn basketball, which says everything you're saying there. This is newsletters that feed me hockey and soccer and all the sports every morning, and Alabama and Auburn is mentioned in every one of them this morning. That's how big of a game it is. Number 16 Alabama on the road at number 12 Auburn. Throughout history, you go back and look at these matchups when it's been top 25 matchups. Alabama's won 4 of the 5 previous matchups, but the last one was won by Auburn. 1955. They played it in Montgomery, Alabama, down at the old Armory, I'm sure.
Makes sense.
Yeah, Alabama won that one. This obviously came from the Auburn folks with the LLL and the wins. Marlene down there giving this information. 1975 in Tuscaloosa, an Alabama win. 1977 in Auburn, an Alabama win. Recent in 1987 with Wimp as the head coach in Tuscaloosa. Alabama with the win. But not too long ago, January 11th, 2022, number 4 Auburn down at Neville beat number 24 Alabama 81-77. Alabama's won 3 straight. Nobody's won 4 straight in this series since 2012 when Alabama won 5 straight. But the confidence level for Alabama tonight, Alabama fans, seems to be somewhere from high down to mid-range. The confidence level of winning in this building tonight for Alabama fans doesn't seem to be there.
So you're saying Alabama fans have no confidence in winning this game?
I don't think so. I'd love to see the chat room after we hear from the coaches here.
Okay.
But I'd love to know what Alabama fans who watch our show think about winning in Neville Arena tonight, where they've won 14 straight games. And I've got the stat somewhere, but just ranked teams, Bruce is 7-1. Ranked versus ranked down at Neville Arena.
So how should we do this? Give us your confidence on a 1 to 10 or a percentage, 75% confident. I mean, how would you like it?
High, medium, low.
Oh, high, medium, low confidence.
Yeah,
okay, so we're just going to go 3 choices. High, medium, low. All right.
High, medium, low.
All right, so you tell us, Alabama fans. Of course, now we got to try to figure out if they're an Alabama fan or an Auburn fan. But you tell us high, medium, or low. In the chat room.
High, medium, or low. You know what you're a fan of. We're not going to assign you pronouns here. You choose high, medium, or low. Let's hear the coaches. There were some juicy words said yesterday. If you like to read between the lines, if you don't look to read between the lines, they're just normal comments, right? But if you love to read between the lines, there were some juicy comments yesterday. Let's start in Tuscaloosa. Alabama head coach Nate Oats. is paying a compliment here, but it doesn't come off to some Auburn fans as a compliment.
Well, for one reason, it got disseminated somewhat out of context. The entire quote did not get disseminated initially.
In our world of Twitter or X or Blue Sky, wherever you're surfing the web today.
Dunaway's found a new social media platform, Rockstar. Blue Sky is the name of it.
Oh, cool.
From the makers of Twitter.
Yeah.
Oh, good. X, you mean?
Yeah. X.
You get.
I'll never call it X, by the
If you
way.
get a short little blurb, it sounded like he was calling Auburn a high school gym.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah,
if you
yeah,
only
yeah.
see that part of the quote.
Yeah.
Right.
But he wasn't calling it a high school gym. He said it had a high school gym atmosphere. You have to listen to it to really get the compliment out of it. Here's Nate Oats of Alabama.
It's so loud in there, right? That the court might be the same, but the way the setups are definitely not the same. I mean, in Coleman, our first row's way off the floor. You go to Auburn, and they're a lot more like Duke, where the students are right on the floor. I think it's a great environment. I think it's what makes college basketball, having, the student section with, they're rowdy, they get after it, they're loud, and they're right on top of you. So, and then it's hard to hear yourself even think. It's hard to get play calls called. It's hard for the players to communicate on defense. It's loud. It's great. I love it. It reminds me a lot of high school gyms, just with a lot more people in there. But you kind of pack 2,000 people in a high school gym and get somewhere setting. Now you pack whatever they seat, 8, 9, 10,000, whatever it is, and the place gets loud.
So it's huge compliment.
Oh, of course.
Until you get to the last part where it's like a high school gym.
Yeah.
And that's the only part that a lot of people sent out, just that quote. And it was, oh, my goodness. And then it ends up. It's a huge compliment all the way up until that last part.
And one of the group texts, one of the many group texts I'm a part of, Auburn fan said, Brown, you have to start your show tomorrow with Nate Oats calling our gym a high school gym.
Yeah.
And I said, you clearly have not heard the entire soundbite.
No.
And he said, and somebody responded back and said, well, I haven't either. I just saw the high school gym line. I'm like, yeah, that's all you're going to see.
Exactly.
I was like, literally, he first starts by saying, Auburn's gym is so much better than Coleman Coliseum.
That's right.
I mean, that's how he starts the bite.
He's actually dissing Coleman Coliseum
he dogs out
through the whole bite.
He dogs out his own arena and talks about good. I said, and then if he didn't drive the point home enough, he then compares it to Cameron Indoor Arena, like the Taj Mahal of college basketball.
Yeah.
And then says it's what makes college basketball great. I'm like, you go listen to the whole quote. I think you're actually going to like what he says.
So what is this, Forrester? Give me Forrester's mic. Forrester's give me the Auburn propaganda. What is Rosie Auburn saying this morning?
Auburn propaganda. This is Alabama's game day poster of Grant Nelson, stepping over little Neville Arena.
It's a little high school gym. Grant Nelson stepping over that high school gym there, Scotty. Hey, hey, Scott.
So this is Alabama stuff here, huh?
Yes, this is Bama stuff.
Scott, do you know yet, is the Auburn golf team selling popcorn to raise money for one of their tournaments tonight?
Hey, what time is the B team game tonight? Are you guys going to let kids out of the seventh period to go to the game tonight?
That's right. Catch the JV at 4.
That's right. Y'all got some of them Otis Buttmucker cookies?
I mean, again, if you pull that part of the quote, it sounds like Nate Oats calling it a high school gym. But as I try to tell my friends, go listen to the whole thing. As an Auburn fan, I think you'll actually love what he says. I think you'll be like, yes, that's what I want somebody to say about my place.
Wait, who the hell creates these game day posters? Give me that again.
It's the social media team.
I mean, this looks like something like a movie that Jeff Aniston would have watched back in the 60s. Like this guy got radioactive and he outgrows all the gyms.
Y'all ever seen
the giant white guy movie from back in the 60s?
Grant Nelson of that movie looks like. Hey, so as somebody points out, and Scott, you'll have to give Scott, I know it's going to hurt. You got to give Alabama points for this, okay, Scott? As somebody points out in the chat room, Alabama did not go to the trouble of photoshopping out the Final Four banner. They actually left that on there. I mean, you got to give Alabama credit for that, right?
Yeah, it's still there.
Yeah, I mean, Final Four banner's still there. Yeah, it's on there.
By the way, as we continue to grow up here, we added that logo, didn't we?
We did. Yes.
Was that yesterday?
When was that added, Scott? Monday?
Day before.
Yeah.
Day before yesterday. Yep.
So
Monday.
that has been up there
More than
this
24
morning.
hours, yes.
I did not notice it at all yesterday.
That's right.
You're show focused, man.
I know.
Yeah, but I look at that whole
All day.
wall
Yep.
all day long.
Yeah, it's been right there.
So it's been there since Monday?
Monday afternoon, I believe.
What day is this? Wednesday?
Today is Wednesday.
Lunsford's making sure the
pat
E's
that
on
down there.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same people that did all the other logos do that?
Yeah.
I miss seeing Rob.
He wasn't here.
Oh, it was Rob's team?
Yep.
Yeah. Well, that's a good look. We're working on the rest of the room back there.
It's a good logo.
Yeah. Hey, can you do me a favor, Forrester? Can you touch that brick in front of you real quick? Just maybe that'll rub off on your Auburn team tonight.
Oh, wow.
Taylor Corn's down there, by the way, at Pearlville.
Is that what they call it?
That's what you called it on the phone.
Well, I asked her if that's what they called it. Like, you got Shashevskyville. I can't remember any other ones. I asked her if they call it Pearlville or not. Do they?
Yeah, I don't know.
The Pearly Gates.
I heard it, and I ran with it.
So there is the so that's the video Emily Grace McWhorter, EG, got from Auburn last night. That was making the rounds. Like, I was watching
SEC Now.
I was watching SEC Now after Kentucky Vandy last night. And our boy Bernsey was like, "Look at this video from our friends the next round in Birmingham."
Well, we made it so he had to reference us.
That's little T doing her job right there, my friend. Little T and EG doing it the right way.
Yeah, because I noticed last night on TikTok, I sent a couple of them to Taylor last night because I was trying to get her fired up for the game. And so after going back and forth in a very Auburn, Alabama nice way with her throughout the night, I sent her some video that was making around several different accounts on TikTok that she shot at the first meeting between these two
Correct,
schools.
yes.
Of people saying, the whole arena basically saying, "Nep, you Auburn, nep, you Auburn." And well, I don't want to say it, but the kids that were not at the game, the kids that were at the game have already learned that phrase, I'm sure. And I was like, "Isn't that your video?" And she's like, "Yes, it is."
Yes,
and
it is. Don't mention that, Jim.
I said, "Why is it not? Why is it on these other people's account?" She goes, "You tell me, Jim. You tell me, Jim."
So Jennifer pointed out,
I've commented on every one of them already.
When Bernsey said it, she's like, "Oh, how nice Peter gave you guys credit." And then she said, well, "Of course, he really can't not give you credit. You've got your big old logo right at the top." And I said, "Baby, have you ever heard the phrase once bit, twice shy?" And she said, "Yeah." I said, "In Taylor's case, it's about 1,000th time bit. We're not going to be shy anymore." I mean, it happens to us all the time. We're just going to start slapping the logo on everything.
Yeah, we may eventually go to a watermark at some point where it gets in the middle of the screen because some people are starting to sort of work their way around our logos.
Yeah. Well, I did notice we had, to credit, ESPN, SEC Network's part of ESPN, reached out and asked permission to use it, which I'll give ESPN credit for doing that. And Little T's response is always the same. As long as you don't crop out the logo and give us credit, you can use it all you want.
Yep.
So Little T's going to put those logos on there and tell him you can't crop it out.
Yeah. So tonight, unbelievable setting down there. Bruce Pearl, by the way, speaking of the remember that? The last game? Bruce had a chance to talk to his fan base about it. Did we get that comment? We didn't do it? No, okay. There we go.
Wow.
Forrester did not give me the comment when Bruce was explaining to his student body and fans not to cuss tonight, basically.
Why don't you use the...
Because you guys are better than that, right? Is that what he was saying?
There's still some Bruce...
Which one is good, Bruce?
The Pringle one.
I did like that one. That was actually pretty funny.
What number is that here on my list?
I don't know. Read your sheet there.
I mean, you do such a good job. I got 62 cuts here to get to today.
And one I did not get.
EG.
Okay, cut number 6.
I think we got it. No, EG said she's got it. He's just criticizing Scott for not including it.
Which one do you have? The Bruce talking about? I can explain the okay, come in here. Emily Grace McWhorter, who was down at the news conference yesterday, take a fake Lance.
Virtual Lance.
Take fake Lance out.
Yeah.
Lance, by the way, fine. Day off today. He's back with us tomorrow. Emily Grace is going to join us here. This is continuous coverage of Alabama at Auburn tonight. I mean, as fast as you want to go here, you just.
Wow.
We could listen to that cut that Scott didn't
I
get last
love
time.
our candor
Well,
about our
at least-
time.
he broke away from criticizing Scott, so he could criticize
Oh.
you. Yeah.
So,
You're welcome, Forrester.
okay, so you were at the news conference yesterday. From what I gathered, Bruce, I heard the soundbite. It seemed like Bruce was coaching up the Auburn folks that they didn't need to be like the Alabama folks.
It was something that he learned during his 21 days of prayer, he mentioned, that he is trying to refrain from using cuss words. And he segued that into saying that the environment that Auburn creates is already good on its own. They don't need to add the colorful language.
So Bruce hadn't been cussing for 21 days, he said?
He said that he's been trying, and he's not perfect, but that was the goal of 21 days of prayer, to
I was
keep the language in check.
Was very, very close. I was blessed with really good seats on January 24th. Is that in a 21-day window?
That would be in the 21 days of prayer. Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Okay,
Here
wow.
to tear him down. I'm just saying that was here to tear him down.
That was just an intense game. I mean,
Totally.
if he made it through that game, that was an intense
Well,
game.
you're saying he didn't make it through.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that was an intense game.
Your facial gesture said it.
It was an intense game. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
I did not hear. In fact, I didn't hear any cussing at Coleman Coliseum from anybody.
Coleman Coliseum.
Wow.
I mean, I was right in front of the students. They cussed in that game.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's a rivalry game. I mean, I've never seen birds flipped at Jordan-Hare Stadium after, 4th and 31 or any of that.
None.
Yeah.
It's just such a clean environment both
Yeah,
places.
it is.
It's really
Are you
amazing.
supposed I did the 21 days of prayer. Are you supposed to give something up, or was that just because I missed that memo from George Wright, my pastor at Shades
I
Mountain
missed that
Baptist?
memo, too.
Okay, good. All right. I just want to make sure I wasn't supposed to give
I
something
think
up.
ours was 21 days of prayer and fasting, and I
did not fast.
I did not fast.
That's too Old Testament for me. But I thought most people gave stuff up after Fat Tuesday, sort of Lent.
I've
Yeah.
never really observed that.
I haven't
but,
either.
But maybe Bruce was just doing something different during the 21 days of prayer.
Well, in my country, freedom of religion, that's when I do it. It's during Lent
During
on
Lent.
Wednesday.
Yeah. Only in Jim's country, though. We don't share
Okay,
that same
we don't.
country.
No, I mean, I was
No.
just
How do
letting
you
you
get
know.
citizenship to that?
Y'all both just shunned my.
I did not shun it.
my
I
Lent.
literally just said I don't observe it.
No,
I mean,
I've never done Lent.
You should be comfortable in your own religion.
I am. That's what I just said.
Jim's country. Do you guys have a flag, a slogan, national bird?
Yeah, we do have a national bird. All right, Emily Grace is going to be with us. Stay
am.
for this segment,
Oh, okay.
though. She's doing 4 downs and trash today without Lance here. Here's Bruce Pearl talking about something else yesterday. This was about Nick Pringle, who did not make the trip to Georgia, was back on the team, but not dressed for the last game as they took on, who'd they beat the last game? I was at that
That'd be
game.
Mississippi State.
And then I even asked Stephen Pearl yesterday on the show. I said, hey, Pringle's been suspended, but how do you prepare? Because there's a good chance he'll play against Auburn. He says, we got to prepare like he's going to play. Well, by the time Bruce gets to the microphone, it's more than preparing for him to play. Bruce is expecting him to play, and he's going to be cleared.
Alabama's one of the best offensive teams in the country. I think they lead the country in scoring, averaging about 90 points a game. They're number 4 with about 11.5 threes per game. They make over 12 in their wins. And so they're, just a very dangerous team because they all shoot it so well. They could put 5 guys on the floor at the same time that could shoot it. They have got depth. They were a little thin on the front line, but one of the players that I guess was suspended is eligible for the Auburn game. Imagine that.
It's a good line. I tell you, though, is Alabama better without Pringle? I'm out. We'll go hot take here. It's only been 2 games, but
Stephen Pearl said they're better offensively without him on the floor.
I mean, the scores would tell you that, wouldn't they?
I mean, that's the Auburn assistant head coach.
So if you think about without Pringle, they scored almost 100. They scored 99 against Mississippi State. The Georgia game, they scored 79 points in 30 minutes after that horrible start. So basically, that's ridiculous, isn't it? In the last 70 minutes, they've scored almost 180 points without Nick Pringle.
Y'all were talking about cursing, right?
What?
We found a clip.
Oh, a clip of what?
Bruce Pearl talking about cursing.
Is this yesterday?
Yeah. I just thought Scott should.
Did Scott do this? Or
Scott chopped this up so quickly.
Yeah. I wish he had
I
wish he had about 5 minutes ago, but we.
No, wait a second. Please tell them when we started this venture.
Yeah.
Who was one of the first people we wanted to go get?
Scott Forrester.
The first 5 guys that said no.
Scott Forrester. No, it was
Scott Forrester.
Yeah.
And
he was dumb enough to say yes.
we didn't know Emily Grace yet, and
We didn't know Little T.
between Ryan and me, 50% of us wanted Forrester. No, I'm kidding. It was 100%. Scott Forrester quickly getting this soundbite yesterday about just being good Auburn men and women.
I think that one of the things I want to mention is in our rivalry, and it's important to me, is because while there have been great crowds on the road on some of our road games in the SEC, and overall the crowds have been great, and I really, really am proud of the league and every institution for having developed really good fan bases. I mean, it's at Alabama, at Mississippi State, at Ole Miss, been as good as it gets, sold out, and it's been terrific. I want to remind our fans to just also be a little bit mindful of the language. Like, I think we can be wild and crazy and have fun. I think sometimes you tendency for language, and that was one of my 21 days of prayer. Prayers was I gave up a couple things, but one of the hardest things was every now and then to stop cussing, and so I'm not perfect at it either. But I want our fans to be mindful of that at Auburn. It matters, and sometimes it just doesn't need to be that way.
Well, I know it's a private thing, but I'm kind of intrigued on what else he gave up.
Yeah,
it's his business.
Now, in all seriousness, I will tell you, I thought it was a little over the top at the Alabama game.
Oh, what? FU Auburn?
Yeah. It was a little too much, even for my comfort level.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, and I cuss a lot.
Well, I was there the night. Dixie Land Delight died. It's come back. They resuscitated it, but the night Dixie Land Delight died, and
Wait, run me through that. What do you mean died?
well,
There were for those of you that are
new to
not
the
familiar.
state. So Dixie Land Delight.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay, you've been to the game now,
Yes,
and
yes.
you notice how the PA
They-
system they edit in. Beat
Auburn.
beat
Yeah.
Tennessee.
But you've heard what the students actually yell.
Oh, yes, of
you
course,
know that.
of course.
Well, there was a time they didn't have the big audio that said beat to try to drown it out.
Yeah, this is what led to that. So they do Dixie Land Delight. This is during an Iron Bowl, 2014. They do Dixie Land Delight, and then it gets to the instrumental solo, and the student section nonstop
Never stops.
the F Auburn, F Auburn, F Auburn, F Auburn, and that was the night it died. And then after much fan pressure, Greg Byrne brought it back, but they did the
beat Auburn.
the insert. Yeah.
Interesting.
Of course, now I will have to point out I was at the Rose Bowl.
That's right. Yeah, this is a great point. I was about to get to this.
And they played it at the Rose Bowl without the beat Auburn.
Yep.
And the lyrics did not change from the old school Alabama fans. That is not your students that are at the Rose Bowl.
That is, some students were there.
Yeah, but not a student section.
I don't know if they had 500 Taco Bell student section on the road there, whatever it is. They got the free tickets, but that's your high money people that travel on the road, and they were as loud with the Fs as the students were.
I will not divulge who said it, but somebody said this line.
Oh, yes.
This was the line. The old fans can't complain anymore because that's the only ones that are here at this game.
Yeah, they can't complain about it anymore.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Lunsford said, I also didn't yell beat in Pasadena.
No, not many people did based on my seat. Yeah, just what I heard.
Now, after spending half of a season dividing my Saturdays between Auburn and Alabama, I never heard anyone actually say beat Auburn at the game. Heard over the PA system, but no one's using that vernacular.
I think the PA system is just covering up what people say.
Yes, drowning it out.
I think they realize we're not encouraging them to say beat Auburn. We're just covering up what they're actually saying.
Yes.
We're trying to make it TV friendly.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, it's more for the TV, I think, for the folks who are watching at home.
I mean, again, if you go, as Chris is pointing out, if you go to an LSU game and hear them sing Neck, they have some very colorful lyrics to that song as well.
Yes. All right, so fun times, man.
Hey.
Yeah, Jace wants to know what "gotta" means. I mean, it's got
There's
what
a
is
lot of
commonly considered a cuss word.
Different. Get after those academics.
That's right. which is never chanted in the SEC.
No, not in Georgia Southern either.
All right, we're off and rolling today. It is a rivalry day, and in all seriousness, it's what makes it great. The two fan bases and It just is tremendous. Auburn's a 5.5-point favorite. I'm not sure Alabama has a chance tonight in this contest. We will see if Alabama can stay on the court as the number 16 team in the country against number 12 Auburn down at Neville Arena, which is a special place. There you go, 24 minutes commercial free there to get you going. Nonstop rock on the Boss of the Beach here.
Time for traffic.
Being brought to you by a couple of our great sponsors. One of those, our friends at Oats.
Hey, it is Wednesday night, Rockstar. You got any plans?
Trivia
is tonight. Odie Stafford, Crestline Village. You can go see Rockstar, Lance Taylor, Will Haver as they host trivia, award-winning trivia, and you can win prizes as well. They're at Odie's Crestline
Fine
Village.
print, scheduled to appear.
Odie's at Crestline Village. It's a great place for lunch as well. Go by and get Rodney's Cheeseburger, the Diablo Sandwich, which we love, pick up cocktails. Odie's Tavern Trivia tonight just after 8 o'clock.
And also our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. UCA has over 35 urologists at 16 locations spread throughout the state of Alabama to help all you men out there keep your health in a good place. Early detection is so important, right? Everything in your urological world, from prostate health to kidney stones and everything in between. Visit UrologyCentersAlabama.com to schedule an appointment. UrologyCentersAlabama.com. Make that appointment today and stay on top of your health. We've got more from TNR. When we come back, we'll get into the chat room comments and talk a little National Signing Day. All right, here on your home for sports. It's the next round.
Follow Rockstar on Twitter at RockstarBHM.
Are you ready for a winning season in your finances? Legacy Credit Union is bringing you a slam dunk deal on their credit cards. Apply for their balance transfer and pay zero balance transfer fees. That's right, there is no balance transfer fees, and they're offering a jaw-dropping 2.99% APR for the first 6 months. Whether you're looking to clear the cord of those holiday expenses or just wanting to streamline your finances, apply online today, LegacyCreditUnion.com. Annual percentage rate, terms and conditions may apply. See Credit Union for details. Federally insured by the NCUA.
The Next Round is so much more than the show you get from 9 to 1 each day. So make sure to head to our official YouTube channel at Next Round Live and subscribe to get all of our latest content. We, of course, have plenty of specialty content and shorts based all around the sports in the heart of the SEC. But we also talk pro sports, gambling, lifestyle and entertainment, and so much more. It's the Next Round YouTube channel where you never know what you're going to find next. Subscribe now to see the latest content and get notifications when we go live. That's at Next Round Live on YouTube.
Fire damage to your home or business is something you never want to consider. Ryan Brown here from the Next Round. But in the horrible event it happens, Dry Tech is here to help. They respond quickly and will reply to you within 20 minutes when you call 205-637-0143. They're working for you, the customer, not the insurance company. They've got 5 crews ready to go 24/7. Don't call the insurance company first. Call Dry Tech. Just remember this website, mydrytech.com. That is mydrytech.com.
There are so many things I love about Walk-Ons. Authentic, mouth-watering Louisiana cuisine, prepared fresh, daily from scratch. A great beer selection and TVs everywhere to watch the big game every day of the week. And of course, they've got 2 great locations on Highway 280 and 119 and at Hoover near the Hoover Met. Walk-Ons is also a great place for happy hour, 2 to 6 Monday through Friday with $5 moonshine swirls, $5 house pours, and half-price appetizers. And it's an easy take-home experience for the family as well. Highway 280 and Hoover with Walk-Ons.
On the field or in the office, you need a solid team and a strong game plan if you want to beat the competition. Xerox Business Solutions Southeast offers everything from printers to managed IT services, as well as hybrid work hardware solutions through our titanium partnership with Dell. For championship-level office solutions, get Xerox Business Solutions Southeast into your starting lineup. Visit xbssoutheast.com/win. Touchdown!
Hey, Ryan Brown here from the Next Round. Do you want to help pay for my kids' college and look great while you're doing it? You need to go to the Next Round store. Everything from hats to short sleeve and long sleeve t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, zip-up hoodies, and much more. And we're adding new things all the time. Why would you not want to see my kids get a great college education and look great out in the public while you're doing it? Get the gear we wear all the time on the show, and there's only one place to get it. NextRound.store. That's NextRound.store.
Taylor listening down at Auburn. We're going to check in with her coming up in about an hour. She's at Tent Village, Pearlville, outside of Neville Arena. She says, I'm a little behind, but Dunaway, you're already pissing me off.
Yeah, you two almost fought yesterday.
I know. She gives it, but she doesn't enjoy taking it in the rivalry, right?
Were you gone, Rockstar, by the time you were gone. They almost, they were across the room from one another, but I really thought they might come to blows. Like, he had Taylor so fired up. You've seen it.
Oh, I've seen it. I've seen the text messages. It's fun.
All I said was, wow,
your team sucks.
I said it must be a really big game. You guys are already camping out.
Well, what really got her was when you started in on the cussing part.
The cussing part, yeah.
Yeah, that was what really got her.
Yeah.
And she did not observe Bruce's 21 days of
She did not. She cussed right back. I've learned in my my long 30 years of covering this rivalry that that one fan base,
oh boy,
thinks the other fan base has people in their fan base that isn't in their fan base, and then the other one thinks that their fan base is. They look across the other aisle and they've got people in their fan base that's not in theirs. And I've covered both of them for 30 years, and they're both a lot alike. They're virtually identical.
I would say, they have some distinct differences, but I do think they have more in common than either one of them want to admit.
Exactly.
I don't think this is anything anyone would argue with. There are more Alabama fans in this state than there are Auburn fans. So
closer than it's ever been.
By simple numbers, just by the numbers, if you've got more fans, you're going to have more bad fans. That's just numbers.
Oh, yeah, but not necessarily per capita.
I didn't say that. I just said pure numbers. If you've got more fans, you're going to have more bad fans.
Yeah.
That's true of the Ohio State-Michigan rivalry. I don't know which one's bigger. Which one do you view like more fans in that one? See, they're not in the same state, so it's kind of weird.
Yeah, but I always think there are more Ohio State fans than there are Michigan fans.
I've always kind of thought that too, but there are a lot of both, I think.
Yeah, they're probably equal.
And it's probably the same. There's probably a lot more in common among those two fan bases, even though they're in neighboring states, than they would like to admit.
Yeah, but I think it was Royal Payne who says it is exciting that Auburn and Alabama both are good at basketball at the same time because it makes it so much more fun.
I agree completely. Yes.
It's been one of the joys since Bruce got to Auburn because he was on our radio show weekly for a couple of years when he was serving his suspension. And when he got the job at Auburn, it really changed our football off season because it made basketball a lot more interesting in the state all of a sudden. And to have right now Bruce and Nate and Andy Kennedy buckyball rolling at Samford, it's a lot more fun all the way through March into April now because of where basketball is.
Well, there was a time where the biggest part of this rivalry was awarding the trophy at halftime because the game was a blowout, or it was one crap team and one good team, or your team was crappy hosting the good team, but at least you got to see your football team get the trophy at halftime.
That's right. And Taylor will point out she shot video of that in the first game in Tuscaloosa this year.
I doubt Taylor wants to bring that up, but I was going to make the point. I saw almost no video of that like this year. That wasn't even that big a deal this year.
Taylor shot it.
I'm aware it got shot, Jim. I'm saying that was.
I'll tell you this: there were some people in Alabama that worked for the school because Taylor had asked me on the way over, and I was like, I don't think they still do that, Taylor. Like I think they stopped doing that. And so when I got to the arena, I asked somebody. I said, they don't still hand out that ODK trophy at halftime, do they? And he's like, no, we stopped doing that. They don't do that.
Somebody at Alabama said that.
Yeah. And then 15 minutes later, Taylor says, hey, they're doing the trophy thing at halftime. Yeah. And I said, no, I just talked to so-and-so. They're not doing the trophy thing. And then I saw that guy, and he's like, I found out about that about 15 minutes ago, too. I didn't think we did that anymore.
Thought they retired with Nick Saban.
Yeah.
But there was a time where that was the biggest thing. And my point was, I know it got shot. Taylor shot it. Chris McCauley at 33-40 and all those people. But it wasn't that big a deal because the game meant more.
That's right. Basketball means more.
Yeah, the game meant more than some stupid trophy presentation that really shouldn't be done at halftime
It should be done at the football game.
Yeah, or don't even do a trophy.
That trophy can be there at the football game.
Yeah, or I don't think anybody cares about an Iron Bowl trophy. I think, you know what people care about? Who wins the game.
They do need to redesign it to where it's a more more friendly to pick it up and run it around the field right after the game?
You know, I couldn't identify it on site. And I've lived here in this state 47 years. I've watched every Iron Bowl of my lifetime. And if you set like 5 trophies that said, all right, and I couldn't like see inscriptions on them, point out the Foy ODK trophy, I could not pick it out on site.
It would have to be like a lot of my standardized testing. I would need to be able to identify the other ones, and by choice of elimination going, oh, that must be it.
If it was the Lombardi, the Stanley Cup, and the Masters trophy, I'm
then
like,
I could
okay,
get to it.
Oh, that's an Emmy.
Then I could get to it.
If we're in Jim's basement, it's 2 Emmys of the ODK trophy.
Okay, a little bit more on National Signing Day and then back to the game tonight. But we'll talk to Daryl Johnston. Moose joins us Super Bowl week in our next segment. We'll do some more college football basketball in this segment after Brownie tells us about our friends at A+.
A+ Tile Home Remodeling. Jim Dunaway is who redid my bathroom, my master bath. That is my man Brad Bell, A+ Tile Home Remodeling. Scott is being kind enough to show you the video. The bathroom, when we bought our house, and we knew we wanted to update it right away, but we had kicked the can down the road a bit. So my wife last year said, all right, we're doing it now. So she started scouring the internet to find the best contractor. She read reviews, talked to certain contractors, people that had used contractors. She selected Brad Bell, A+ Tile Home Remodeling. I'm glad she did. He did amazing work. His crews did amazing work. Here is his cell number, 205-422-1758. That's 205-422-1758. He specializes in master bathroom, kitchen, and master bedroom closets. Now, that's important because while he'll do everything else, you're going to probably enjoy those spaces more than any other space in your house. And when you go to resell your home, you're going to get more back on those than anything else you can do in your house. Master bath, kitchen, and master bedroom closets. So if you want to update that home, call Brad Bell now. A+ Tile Home Remodeling. Anywhere in Alabama, he can help you. 205-422-1758. 205-422-1758.
All right, 4 5-stars still officially signing today. Ryan Williams is the best unsigned player. He's from Saraland, verbally committed to Alabama a couple of times. But today's the day he makes it official. 10 a.m. Saraland, where he will either sign with Alabama or not sign with Alabama, but everybody still expects him to sign with Alabama. Maybe only one person in the world still is not 100% on the wall.
Would that be you?
And that would be me.
Okay.
Because it would be just like a guy named Hollywood on the day Alabama's playing at Auburn to make a flip. But we'll see what happens at 10 a.m. with Ryan Williams, but everybody expects him to sign with Alabama. 5-star athlete Terry Bussey expecting to go to Texas A&M, but LSU still in the mix there. LSU is going to get out of this class with a 5-star, though.
Oh, so it's going to ruin the stat.
It looks like defensive lineman Derek McKinley is going to sign with LSU today, and 5-star wide receiver Gatlin Bair is going to sign with Oregon today. Other than that, all the 5-stars have already signed in the early signing period.
Rockstar, if Gatlin Bair is a running back and they take the quarterback out and direct snap it to him, is that the Gatlin gun offense?
Oh, man, he can go Gatlinburg with that run.
Gatlinburg offense?
He is a wide receiver.
It sucks.
4-star edge rusher Noah Carter is expected to sign with Alabama today after committing to Washington. It had been a long-time commitment there. There's a 4-star wide receiver and a 4-star athlete, and that's about it for the big players that are still technically unsigned.
Man, I just remember, and I don't care because I never got into it then. I've never really been a big recruiting guy. We talk to it to the extent, we pretty much have to here on this show. We've never really made any sort of, we've never told a falsehood about that. We've been honest about how we feel about recruiting. But I do remember when this day, people would take days off work for this. You remember that, right?
Oh, yeah.
Days off work.
Oh, and the guest list was like nonstop.
Yeah, we would have somebody from Alabama, from Auburn, from Tennessee, from LSU. And people would take days off work for this. And, I mean, like I remember, the faxes come in, and Alabama had the fax scam, and they had that one girl in the houndstooth skirt that one time. And everybody made a big deal about that. It used to be a really big deal. It's crazy to see how much it's changed because of that other signing day.
It was sort of fun, too, because it was, about a month removed from, football being played, college football being played.
Taste of football,
Yeah, right before spring football started. It was, got a chance to see highlights on television. You started thinking about the future, started thinking about next year. But now all that happens on December 20th, right in the middle of the good part of the season.
No, we don't need it then, and it just doesn't feel like there are any surprises then either.
I feel like
it used to feel like there were surprises on this day.
That's right.
But even on the previous one, on the December 20th one, Jim, it feels like everything just goes as planned. There are no surprises hardly anymore. It doesn't feel like. I know we get flips occasionally.
I'm almost to the point. Let's just let them sign whatever they want to sign. Like if Brian Williams wanted to sign with Alabama, back in June, he could have signed in June, and then if Nick Saban retired, as he did, then everybody gets a clean slate at that point.
Well, I know you and I did not agree on some things yesterday on my 5 big questions about when players become employees, and we'll see how all that pans out. But I could see a scenario in which there is no signing day anymore.
Yeah.
Because that's an NCAA deal.
Yeah.
So when these schools pull away from the NCAA and they're making their own rules, if I've got a kid ready to sign and his agent says this is the deal we're taking, and he signs the contract, he's under contract with me.
Yep. Because right now I feel like it's just a 1-year deal anyway. Because God knows if you're good, you can be in the portal next year. Technically this spring.
It's a little bit like baseball teams. Like they'll sign a kid out of high school and he may go play college football, but when he gets ready to play baseball,
he's ours.
Yeah. And we don't pay him until then. And that's how it would be. I mean, he may still be playing wide receiver at Saraland, but he's on our payroll the moment he starts playing football at Alabama.
Yeah. So National Signing Day today, basketball tonight, 6 o'clock, by the way. Andy and the gang on the Auburn Network, Chris Stewart and the gang on the Crimson Tide Sports Network, ESPN with Jimmy Dykes and Carl Ravage on the television side tonight, down from beautiful Neville Arena. And everything Nate said about the place is fantastic. It's my favorite place to watch a basketball game right now. I've never seen a game in Cameron Indoor. My wife has. But the low ceiling, right, because there's no suites or anything in Neville, so the low ceiling keeps all the sound right on top of you, and then all the seats are right on top of you. It is a magical place to watch college basketball.
And Auburn plays that way. They don't lose very often.
They don't. 14 straight there, 11-0 this year, and it's a big contest tonight. All that's happening. When we come back, though, Super Bowl week, we'll talk to Daryl Johnston, Moose, about that, and also about the UFL. It's part of Birmingham. We've got the 5 home dates the Stallions will play. Show being brought to you by our friends at Hemp Hill for all your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs. Trust the name Birmingham's trusted since 1954. That's Hemp Hill Services. So plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, call this number, 205-229-2090, 229-2090. It's our friends at Hemp Hill Services. Back in a moment on TNR.
Follow Scott Forrester on Twitter at ScottForresterTV.
Legacy Credit Union has the ultimate game changer for your finances. With Engaged Checking, you can earn 3% APY on balances up to $15,000. You heard correctly, 3% APY. But it's not just about scoring with high yields. With Engaged Checking, you can get paid up to 2 days early. That means your paycheck, Social Security, tax refund, you name it, you get it early. So stop sitting on the sidelines and get in the game with Engaged Checking. Sign up today at LegacyCreditUnion.com or visit any 9 Greater Birmingham area branches. APY is annual percentage yield. Terms and conditions may apply. See Credit Union for details. Federally insured by the NCUA.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from The Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
Make sure to start your day at nextroundlive.com. Get caught up on the latest podcasts and videos from the live daily show, plus specialty shows such as the Mystery Fifth Hour. You can also learn more about the whole staff at Double Down Media, find all of our social media feeds, see the latest videos from our YouTube channel and gaming channel, plus find other ways to consume the show like the Next Round mobile app, which you can download direct from the site via your iOS and Android device. Make nextroundlive.com your homepage and stay up to date with everything from us here at the Next Round.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. On game day, you never have to decide which teams to watch, only what combination of bites, burgers, wings, and more to order. Plus, where else are your favorite draft beers always poured at a frozen 29 degrees? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Stick around after the sun sets. Twin Peaks is open really late. Wind down with bourbon and late night bites. Only at Twin Peaks.
The Double Down Media podcast family is live and full of content for all ages. The Mystery Fifth Hour gives the next round hosts a chance to talk about everything but sports. Pour a glass of Bama and bourbon, our weekly college football conversation, while sipping some of the most interesting pours in the bourbon world. And our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call, presented by Redmont Vodka. LT has in-depth conversations with personalities like Clay Travis and Taylor Hicks. Find those podcasts and more by searching The Next Round on Apple and Spotify. And remember to like and subscribe.
All right, back to Alabama-Auburn basketball, a rare top 25 matchup in the rivalry. Only the sixth time in the history of the rivalry tonight, 6 o'clock. We'll get back to that and go live to Auburn coming up. Big commitment from Ryan Williams signing at the top of the hour as well. But we're excited about having the two-time USFL champions back at Protective Stadium, Birmingham Stallions, part of a new merged two leagues coming up, Brownie. And it's Super Bowl week, so it's got everybody fired up for a little professional football in town.
It does. It's going to be a fun time, and something fun coming up this weekend we're about to tell you about. And Daryl Moose Johnston is with us now. He's been with us many times before. We always appreciate it. Moose, how are you today?
I'm doing good. How you guys doing this morning?
Doing fantastic. Thanks a lot. You know, Coach Holtz was on with us talking about the two leagues uniting, and I'm excited about this. Like, I guess a lot of people wondered if both of them could be, there and both succeed. And, I mean, we may never know, but I think the uniting of them makes everything stronger.
Yeah, I think everybody felt like when we had two spring leagues going on last season that how long was that sustainable? How long could that last? If we've tried this before and one spring league hasn't had the opportunity to be able to be sustainable and survive. So what makes us think that two are going to be able to do that? So I think the fact that we've come together now and really consolidated the talent, not only on the field, but the talent on the coaching staffs, we've taken the front offices of both of the leagues and blended the people there. And that's been one of the best things that's happened so far. And when we always talk about people, when we were with the USFL, and we're maintaining that. And we've got a ton of great people, coming in from both sides that have a ton of experience, not only in the spring leagues, but going up into the NFL. So I think that this was the best opportunity for spring football to be successful moving forward and being sustainable. And during the course of my Fox broadcast in the fall, I heard from a number of coaches around the NFL, whether it was head coach, offensive coordinator, how important this element is in their minds moving forward. So they were all very, very happy when they heard about the merger and the potential of this being a long-term solution.
Listen, maybe it's because we're a USFL town with the champs here for 2 years, but I liked that style of play better than I did the XFL style of play. When I watched the game this year, will it have the same rules as we had in USFL? Will there be a difference? Is there a blend? What will I get when I'm watching the actual games when we kick it off in a couple of weeks?
Well, thank you for that comment. We fought long and hard on our rules because we felt the same way. We really liked the way that our game presented itself on television. And one of the big things that we fought hard for was our kickoff. We did not like a stationary kickoff. We just felt that it didn't look like football. So we were able to get the USFL kickoff established into the UFL because we feel that that's been a big part of our opportunity for guys to get to the NFL. And Kavonte Turpin going to the NFL as a returner, but then having his role expand once he gets to Dallas. So the return element opens the door for you with an NFL opportunity, and then it's up to you to expand on that and become that slot receiver, that gadget guy, in different formational positions. So that was something that we were very adamant about. The one thing that they were adamant about was the non-kicked PAT. So from the 2-yard line, it'll be a 1-point try, but it'll be a scrimmage play. From the 5-yard line, it'll be a 2-point play, and from the 10, it'll be a 3-point play. But kickers will not be attempting extra points, and that was actually something that Eric Shanks, our CEO from Fox, was trying to encourage. We wanted more 2-point and 3-point PAT attempts, but we were not getting them. So we're hoping that the fact that, hey, listen, this is all the same. It's either from the 2, the 5, or the 10, and you get 1, 2, or 3 points, that encourages teams to be a little bit more aggressive there. We've still got the 4th and 12 scrimmage onside play. That will be from the 28 instead of the 33, which is a little bit of a change there. But for all in all, I think you saw some blending in some key areas. But the one area that I think probably had the most conversation during this process was the kickoff. And the USFL drew a hard line in the sand that we need to see movement at the time of the kick. The stationary setting of the kickoff return team is something that does not look like football to us. So we wanted to have that element back in the game.
Daryl Johnston is with us on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline. If you want to see him, if you want to see Coach Holtz, Russ Brandon from the new UFL, an event tomorrow night, Protective Stadium, 6:30. 5 to 6:30 tomorrow night, Protective Stadium, the Stallions Social. If you want to see more and get more information, at USFL Stallions on social media is probably the best way to do that, at USFL Stallions. But the Stallions Social Q&A time, answer these questions like we're getting Moose to answer, get some photos, just hang out with some of the people there. 5 to 6:30 tomorrow night, Protective Stadium in Birmingham. I remember watching the end of the 49ers-Lions game, the NFC Championship, and it came down, obviously, to a Lions onside kick. And I think the stat this year, Moose, was 2 of 40.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I've always liked the action play in that situation like you guys have, because basically the rules have made the onside kick impossible. At least you got a shot at an action play.
Yeah, it was only the old school onside kick at the end of the game where you had overloads to one side, runners coming across. I get it. It was a violent play. I was one of the guys who was on that front line that was just sacrificing his body for the guy behind you to field the kick. So you had to come up with something different, but to balance that formation out and ask these guys to execute that with the game on the line. Yeah, it's gone from 8 to 12% success rate down to 2 to 3%. So I really just think the scrimmage play is a much better way to do this. And that's one of the big things. I would say technology and then the rules that we have in the spring are the two areas that the NFL has the most eyes on. And I really do think that the fourth down onside scrimmage play is something that they really want to take a long, hard look at, because it's getting too hard to convert it. And we saw the watermelon kick in Dallas a couple of years ago against Atlanta. They're always trying to come up with something new to try and increase their opportunities, but it's just too hard. And once you find that one thing, every coach is going to make sure that his players know how to defend that and how to play that special play. So this is something that we hope is going to move its way up to the NFL. And for us, what we want to do, and this was one of the concessions in the rules, was we blended everything. We were actually moving the 4th down and 12 play out further beyond the 33. We were talking about going out to the 38. So if you didn't convert it, it wasn't an automatic field goal. You were giving up 3 points if you didn't make that play. We wanted to encourage our teams to actually use it more often during the course of the game. You can only use it in the fourth quarter when you're behind or tied this season. But one of the things that we'll push for a little bit moving forward is the direction we were heading at in the USFL last year, which is if it's the second quarter and we've had 2 consecutive scoring drives and we feel that defense can't stop us, we're going for the 4th and 12. And we're going to try and put this game away early here in the first half.
This is going to be more of a challenge and not a threat. But now that everybody's playing in their home stadiums for the first time since we brought this league back, it seems to be important now that Birmingham sort of showcases itself and fans go out and support this. I mean, each franchise around the country is going to be judged by their attendance, right? I mean, this is important for Birmingham fans to come out and support these 5 home games. We're going to be judged like a real franchise now, right?
You are. And obviously, the bell cow in the league is St. Louis that averaged over 30,000 fans a game last year. Our franchises coming into this league are all near the bottom when we talk about attendance. So this is a challenge to not only Birmingham, but this is a challenge to Memphis. This is a challenge to Detroit. This is a challenge to Houston. We've all got to be better. It's going to be interesting to see how they embrace this in Houston, because it's the Houston Roughnecks logos and colors from the XFL, but it's the Houston Gamblers roster and staff from the USFL. So what is that transition like? Wade Phillips, who's got he's iconic when you talk about the Houston community, is now in San Antonio. So what is that going to be like for Curtis Johnson and his staff and his roster when they come into Houston? Because they had a pretty good attendance last year. But when you talk about our 3 USFL teams, we are going to encourage everybody in those communities to come out and support their teams, because you're exactly right. Number one, it's going to be able to show that our markets where we are expanding this league into and bringing all the games to them in market is going to be very important. And we have to have the support of the community to really show that this is something that is sustainable moving forward.
Daryl Johnston is also a 3-time Super Bowl champion with the Dallas Cowboys. And I cannot remember in the 3 you played, Moose, was there the week in between? Did you have the bye week in between?
We had the bye week in between on all but one.
Okay.
I think we were probably one of the last ones where they actually had a 1 week gap in between conference championship and Super Bowl. I know it's not easy for the fans, to have that 1 week where there's nothing going on. But I tell you what, it was really important for us. And I'll give you a little story of what can happen, and especially in today's NFL. In our championship game against San Francisco, Troy got kneed in the side of the head and had a bad concussion and left the game. And Bernie Kosar actually came in and finished that game for us. With a 2-week gap, Troy would be back in today's NFL. In today's NFL, I don't know if he would have been cleared to play. That was something that we were very, very concerned about. Was Troy going to be healthy just in that 7-day turnaround? Because we had to logistically the next day, start planning about, family travel, getting your tickets, getting packed, getting ready to go down to Atlanta for the Super Bowl. So I just think from a pace and making sure you've got everything checked for the players and coordinating with family and friends to make sure they get an opportunity to be a part of the Super Bowl experience. And then from a player health and safety perspective, that 2-week gap is critically important. So we had it both ways. And the 1 week was really, really hard logistically, but then for us going into the Super Bowl without Troy Aikman would have been devastating.
Ooh, yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, Bernie Kosar, a capable backup, but he ain't Troy Aikman, right? So,
That's right.
And I know you've watched a lot of NFC, doing the NFC on Fox, and I might be oversimplifying this, but it felt to me like Kansas City throughout this playoffs has been playing their best football of the season, and it feels like the 49ers maybe have not. I mean, they were behind to Green Bay, behind big to Detroit. Am I reading too much into that?
No, but I think there's some good ways to look at that. I mean, it's exactly what happened, right? Kansas City started the season playing great football, had a little bit of a bump in the road through the middle part, October, leading up to Thanksgiving, and then got on a roll at the end of the season. So yeah, they're playing their best football. To win at Buffalo is not easy to do. To go beat Baltimore, hosting their first championship game in 50 plus years, not easy to do. So they've done some great things in the playoffs, and you got Patrick Mahomes. San Francisco, one of the big things about San Francisco is the inability for them to come back in the fourth quarter. They're a great front runner team, right? Get out, build that lead, turn that pass rush loose, and you try to come and catch up to us. In the playoffs, they haven't functioned that way. To your point, they were behind against Green Bay. They were behind big against Detroit. I think that this gives them confidence going into this game. They've kind of checked a few boxes. If you remember, in that divisional round against Green Bay, one of the graphics that always comes up when you do a Kyle Shanahan San Francisco game, he was 0-34, down by 5 or more in the fourth quarter as a head coach, and they were able to check that box against Green Bay. And then to tie the biggest lead or the biggest deficit, overcoming an NFC championship game, in my opinion, gives San Francisco a ton of confidence going into this game. We know what they can do when they're functioning with all that talent around them and playing their style of being that group that comes out and gets that lead and takes off. I think the big thing for me is the last time these two teams played in the Super Bowl, San Francisco was up 10 in the fourth quarter and lost that game.
Yep.
That was right in their wheelhouse. That's how they are built. If you're down to San Francisco by 10 going into the fourth quarter, it's going to be tough for you to win that game. And Kansas City found a way. So I think this is going to be a fantastic matchup.
That Mahomes guy is hard to kill, as it turns out. Hard to kill that one. All right. Hey, listen, tomorrow night, we encourage everyone that can to go down to Protective Stadium, downtown Birmingham, 5 to 6:30, Stallions Social. Don't head home after work. Just head to Protective Stadium and a Q&A with Russ Brandon, Daryl Johnston, and Coach Holtz, Skip Holtz, right there at Protective Stadium. Stallion Social, you can see all the information on it. You can even sign up if you want to. Go ahead and get your name on the list at USFL Stallions on Twitter, at USFL Stallions. And the Stallions and the Renegades start things off week 1, March 30th. Moose, thank you very much for the time. Good to talk with you again.
Good to talk with you guys. Looking forward to being in Birmingham tomorrow. So it's become my home away from home here the last 2 years. So excited to come into town.
You're welcome anytime. You know, we'll take you anytime, Moose.
Thank you, man.
All right, take care. XFL Renegades and the Birmingham Stallions kicking it off in Protective Stadium. You saw what a TV pro Moose is. He said his goodbye and wouldn't say anything else. That's how they teach you on network
Just
TV,
not
right?
in the box.
Just not in the box so you don't have that awkward goodbye that we tried to make it.
Okay, I'm going to tell you about Precision Sports Medicine, and then our Precision Sports Medicine video of the day. Forster is going to show you the skyline in Las Vegas yesterday. 2024 is a new year for you. Precision Sports Medicine, an orthopedic provider, can help you get back into the game. Whatever is hurt on your body, tweak the shoulder, back, knee, playing pickleball or pick up basketball or just at work, precisionsportsortho.com/2024 to make an appointment. Orthopedic care better together. Get your life back on track with Precision Sports Medicine and Orthopedics. precisionsportsortho.com/2024 or call them up 205-512-3885, 512-3885. Here's the skyline in Vegas. That sphere, by the way, can also turn into football helmets.
I saw Scott showing this before the show on the screen there, and I was like, boy, those are the two worst helmet graphics I've ever seen. Surely Scott's not using this. And then I realized, oh, my gosh, that's the sphere.
Yeah. Obviously, they didn't build another $2 billion sphere out there that is split screen for you there. But for those that are advertising on the sphere, normally $450,000 a day to put your logo or your commercial on the sphere, $1 million to $2 million a day during Super Bowl week to be advertised on the sphere while you're out there. Completely sold out all week long.
I'm not surprised. We were out there
Call me, Alabama.
we were out there a few weeks back. It'd be perfect for him, Rocky. And that thing is prominent in the Vegas skyline. You see it for a long way.
Yep. You guys are talking about ESPN and Fox being both behind this league is going to help now, absolutely, on the coverage of the UFL. But again, Birmingham's got to go and step up and put fans' butts in the seats for games this year, because you will be judged on your attendance just like you should be. Shouldn't be a problem here in Birmingham, but we'll have those 5 home games that'll be very important, and we'll be a part of that with the next round. Back to National Signing Day. Ryan Williams' signature expected in a few seconds as we move to hour number 2 right here on TNR.
Take the next round anywhere you go with official Next Round gear. Buy yours today at nextround.store.
Are you ready for a winning season in your finances? Legacy Credit Union is bringing you a slam dunk deal on their credit cards. Apply for their balance transfer and pay 0 balance transfer fees. That's right, there is no balance transfer fees, and they're offering a jaw-dropping 2.99% APR for the first 6 months. Whether you're looking to clear the cord of those holiday expenses or just wanting to streamline your finances, apply online today, legacycreditunion.com. Annual percentage rate, terms and conditions may apply. See Credit Union for details. Federally insured by the NCUA.
This hour of the Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
Want more of the show? Download the app or visit nextroundlive.com for the latest podcast. The Mystery Fifth Hour, our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call, and our entire Double Down Media podcast family, all at nextroundlive.com and on the Next Round app. Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from The Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
The Double Down Media podcast family is live and full of content for all ages. The Mystery Fifth Hour gives the Next Round host a chance to talk about everything but sports. Pour a glass of Bama and bourbon, our weekly college football conversation while sipping some of the most interesting pours in the bourbon world. And our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call. LT takes off the gloves for an in-depth conversation with stars like Taylor Hicks, presented by Redmond Vodka. Find those podcasts and more by searching The Next Round on Apple, Spotify, and on our website, nextroundlive.com.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
All right, let's do a National Signing Day update on a couple of 2024 and 2025 signees after I tell you about our friends at Storm Restoration Roofing. That, of course, is Greg from Pell City. He and his wife own the company, locally owned for over 20 years now. And they do more than just roof repairs during storm damage. They also will help you when your roof ages out. They can replace your roof. But also he gives you a free no-cost roof inspection. You see Greg right there in that phone number, 205-542-3531. What's so cool about that? That's Greg's cell number there. He's the guy on the right by that big black truck there, 205-542-3531. You can call him up or you can text him or you can find him on Facebook, Greg from Pell City there, and book a free no-cost roof inspection. Free, no cost, no obligation. A-plus rated with a Better Business Bureau. Insurance companies trust him. Just the best business guy in the world you want to meet. 205-542-3531 for Storm Restoration Roofing. First for 2025, tight end Hollis Davidson picks Auburn last night. 6'5", 235 from over in Peachtree City, Georgia. Picked Auburn over Miami, Florida, and Florida State. That's for 2025, so not signing today. Another year of high school. He'll do your early signing period or however they do that into the future. So that's for 2025 for Auburn. They really don't have any big fish out there today. Their signing class is pretty much locked and loaded. Noah Carter, 4-star edge rusher who had been committed to Washington since back in June and then is made his switch over to Alabama when Kalen DeBoer came, has officially signed now with Alabama. So that big 4-star edge rusher is going to be part of Alabama. And we're watching and waiting on Ryan Williams to officially sign. He's with his teammates down at Saraland.
I'm sorry, I did see a photo of the gathering there with all the school kids there, and then the table up front with the shirts, and there's a big projector screen behind. And my assumption is they're running, each player that's going to be up there, and it's got Ryan Williams' picture and the Alabama logo with it. So I know you seem worried, but boy, if he flips there with the Alabama logo behind him, that's going to be a big one.
And I will tell you that the 5-star Terry Bussey, who is down to LSU and Texas A&M,
is a Texas A&M commitment today. So that takes care of just about all the big National Signing Day commitments. And when the official signing happens, we'll pass it all along to you. But that's going on today. As Brownie said earlier, not as much fanfare on this day as it was, say, 3 years ago, 5 years ago, pre-pandemic, when this used to be the only signing period. But really interesting for you UAB fans locally in Birmingham tonight at Iron City. You can go down and celebrate UAB's final signing class, or at least the end of the signing class for UAB and Trent Dilfer there. The 205 day for UAB happening tonight at Iron City around 6 o'clock this evening. Let's get back to basketball as soon as Brownie tells us about Dr. B, the guy that's got LT. I don't know why Brown's going to tell us about LT's hair, but you've even noticed that Dr. B changed that hair.
Yeah, of course. Lance, if he were here, would tell you he wished somebody had told him earlier about Dr. B. That a lot of times it's too late, but sometimes it's not. Dr. B will tell you if it's not too late. Now, listen, again, you go in there and get the consultation. He's not just going to do anybody that walks in do a head of hair for them. He's going to make sure it's going to work for you first. And then Dr. Beckenstein and you are going to agree upon a treatment. It's not like a cookie cutter deal where he only does one thing. It's not one size fits all. It's the specific treatment for you. You could see more about this and get more information, t3hair.net, t3hair.net. Lance went in for the consultation. They selected the treatment. They did a follow-up visit, and then he started the treatment at home. Very, very easy to do, and Lance has seen great results, and he keeps going back, and Dr. B just keeps showing him the results. t3hair.net, Dr. Beckenstein. Men and women, we get asked a lot, hey, can women use this as well? Absolutely. He's helped a ton of women grow back their hair, naturally regrowing hair, t3hair.net. t3hair.net for more information. Dr. B, we call him Dr. Michael Beckenstein. Great guy, does tremendous work. t3hair.net.
Okay, before we talk Auburn, Alabama basketball, Clay was on the show 24 hours ago, Clay Travis, and he mentioned a super sports streaming service, almost like Clay had gotten some inside information.
You mean Clay that works for Fox?
Yeah. That would be the thing of the future. Well, last night, it was announced that the folks at Disney, which is ABC, ESPN for now, Fox, Warner Brothers, which is all the TNT properties, have joined together, and they're going to create a streaming service together for all of their sports properties only, starting this fall, this football season.
Yeah.
Now, if you're not familiar with who I'm talking about here, it's ESPN, ESPN Plus, ESPN2, ESPNU, SEC Network, ACC Network, ESPN News, ABC, Fox, FS1, FS2, Big Ten Network, TNT, TBS, and True TV. If you're wondering, they hold the rights to the NFL, the NBA, Major League Baseball, NHL, college football playoffs, NCAA men's and women's basketball tournaments, 40 NCAA championship events, and thousands of other college games, PGA Tour, FIFA World Cup, Grand Slam tennis, UFC, WNBA, NWSL, F1, NASCAR, and a lot more. And it's going to be all on one streaming service.
Yeah.
Sounds good, right?
Yeah, it does, Jim. Do we have a price?
Expected fee to be around $40 to $50 a month. Now you say, well, that seems like a lot.
Well, that seems like a lot.
I pay $11.99 for this or $14.99 for this. But if you're only a sports fan, you can get virtually everything because at some point, I believe one of these, Warner Brothers, is going to buy Paramount, so you'll get CBS and all their properties on this as well.
Yeah, eventually.
Only Peacock and NBC.
So basically, if I'm just a sports fan, like I don't care about HGTV or any crap like that, this is my deal right here. Basically, if I'm a single dude.
It'll be about $40 to $50. Yeah. By the way, YouTube TV, which I'm a part of, I pay $77.50 a month.
Very specific.
And that's what I get my YouTube TV for.
Yeah.
With which I mostly just watch sports on. But occasionally I'll drop on, an Office marathon on Comedy Central or a Friends marathon on Nickelodeon or a Law and Order marathon on WeTV or something like that. None of that will be on this service. So if I wanted to get rid of my YouTube TV and just have sport, if I didn't care about Maggie and the kids don't really watch TV anyway. If I didn't care about Maggie and all of her BBC stuff, I could just pay now $40 to $50 and get all my sports in one location. And you know what this also does, Brownie? This makes it easier. You always worry about this, changing channels between games.
Yeah, I'm an old man.
Yeah, and it's a great point. And it all would be in one location.
Yeah. Rockstar, I don't know if you remember, but used to, all these channels would join together in one cluster, and we called it what? There was something we called that.
Cable,
that's right.
Cable.
So,
it does sound a lot like cable.
Basically, we're just going back in time now, right?
Yep.
I mean, but Clay, love or hate Clay, he was one of the first people to say, like, you guys think a la carte pricing is the way to go here. Just wait till you see what you're going to have to pay for sports.
Right.
In a la carte pricing.
Because roughly just for ESPN, main ESPN, cable providers pay like $10 a month.
It's by far and away the most expensive.
$10 a subscriber.
Yeah, by far and away the most expensive. So much so that if you, and you wonder, you may not wonder, but when you look at the tiers you have to buy, they force ESPN on everybody that buys cable or satellite or whatever.
It's part of your basic.
It's part of your basic because they have to have those people who are not going to use it to pay for those of us that are.
That's right.
And
it keeps the price down.
It keeps the price down. It's the only way they can make it make sense. But that's how expensive ESPN is. It is not cheap for these people to offer you ESPN.
So you say, why would ESPN be part of this?
Why would they?
Well, they're getting a bigger cut.
Oh, makes sense.
Of the subscribers.
Well, they're giving them more.
To this.
Well, yeah, but they're giving more programming than any of those. Like Turner is not going to give you a ton. Warner,
right?
ESPN and Fox is not going to give you as much. ESPN is going to give you the majority of what you read on there.
Yeah, but Fox is giving me NFL football.
They are.
Yeah. A lot more of that on there than it'll be interesting to see how they do NFL football too. I assume I can only get my in-market Fox game.
I would think so because they want to keep Sunday Ticket alive, and it's hard to. If I can get any game for $40 a month, why would I buy from YouTube TV Sunday Ticket, which I think cost me? I think I paid $350 for that this year. I got the introductory offer,
but just think about this.
I think it was $380 maybe.
Think about this: if they don't geo-track, you could sign up for this, Brown, and put a Miami address in.
I've done that before.
Yeah. But if they don't track this, that's what you could do. And basically, but most of your games are on CBS, sorry.
Well, I mean, if Paramount buys in.
If Paramount buys in, you could just lie about your location.
Yeah, so, you'd
get Miami local weather, though.
I've done that before. One time, I cannot remember why I had to do it. There was some issue that forced me to change DirecTV to tell them I was in Miami now.
Preseason games, I bet.
That's exactly what it was.
Thank you.
God, you're so smart, Jim. No. 1 year. All right, so now preseason games, you can sign up for this NFL deal and stream. You get free for 7 weeks or for 7 days. And if you time it out right, you can get 2 preseason games out of it if you join at the right time, and it's streaming. But they used to not have that. So I had, and this is back when you had 4 preseason games.
You got in to get the NBC affiliate down
That's
there.
right.
Carried the game.
That's right. So I called DirecTV and told them,
Joe Rose.
Yeah, I told him I had moved to Miami. But then my wife, and I learned this from Lance because Lance had to do this one time for something else. I can't remember what happened. But my wife got
Pac-12 game.
Something like that. Yeah. He had to move to LA for a Pac-12 game. And so I learned it from Lance. So I called DirecTV, told him I moved to Miami. So they swapped my service to Miami. And my wife was trying to get something, like one of her friends had done an interview, with Fox 6 or 3340 or something. And she turned it on to try to watch, and it was like Fox 8 out of Miami. She's like, what are we getting? It's in Spanish. And I'm like, I forgot to change that back over. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but look at the deal we can get right now at St. Pete Kia.
I know. No, but that was for Dolphins preseason games. You're absolutely right about that. Do you know why I wanted the Dolphins preseason games? I remember all this now.
They were playing Tampa Bay?
No.
They had a Diet Coke on it?
No, it was the year Jay Cutler was starting for the Dolphins. And that was the best quarterback we had since Marino. As sad as that sentence is.
That is.
It was the truth. And I was excited to see Jay Cutler in a Dolphins uniform.
Back now, so that's streaming. That's the future. That's the fall. I mean, it's going to happen very quickly, and we'll keep you updated on how all that goes. But I would not dump yet your YouTube TV or anything else where you're getting the streaming until we get final details on what you're going to have. But it is interesting on the price of streaming and everything we're having to do as sports fans now to keep up with everything.
Rod says there's software, and Lunsford may have to help us on this real quick. Software.
I will say up front, I'm a rule follower. Does this break rules?
Yes. Well, I don't know if it breaks rules or not. Lunsford, there's a software, Rod says, that could give you a VPN anywhere in the world.
It's a virtual private network. Basically, that's how you get past certain restrictions. So, yes, it's not 100% the way it's supposed to be done.
Right.
I wouldn't go as far as say illegal, but
I'm still paying my full share.
It depends. I mean, the problem is that it depends on what you're trying to watch.
Because keep in mind, I am the guy who does not sneak candy and snacks into a theater.
Then you wouldn't use a VPN because you're a saint. Lance wouldn't use it because he wouldn't understand it. I don't know that Brown cares enough for it. So,
well, I mean, I get so many Dolphins games now, and I just pay for Sunday tickets.
Because you live in Miami now.
But I get outvoted when we go to movies as a family back in the day. Maggie would sneak in stuff for her and her kids, or my kids, our kids.
Her kids.
Yes. And then I wouldn't sneak anything in, and I would go stand in line and buy my way too expensive Diet Coke and huge box of popcorn.
You're just supporting the movie theater. Thank you, Jim, for keeping movies alive.
And by the way, when they would eventually, after they were done with the sweet and want the salty, reach up for my popcorn, I would slap hands all night long. I was like, heck no, go buy your own popcorn.
Yeah.
Didn't sneak that in, did you? Back to basketball quickly now. Brought to you by our friends at Hemp Hill. Remember, for all your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name Birmingham's trusted since 1954. Our friends at Hemp Hill. The number to call there, 205-229-2090, 229-2090. Big matchup tonight is Mark Sears, by the way, for Alabama, who is one of the best scorers in the country, leads the SEC in scoring, averaging 20 points a game. Denver Jones, all of a sudden, is getting to play a lot better basketball for Auburn. He's a big scorer coming out of the transfer portal. But he also will find himself defensively on who? Mark Sears at some point.
Good matchup.
Here's Bruce Pearl talking about Denver Jones and what he brings to the rivalry game tonight down at Neville Arena.
Yes, his offensive productivity, making shots or putting balls in his hands to make some plays, that makes us better. But we're not even in the conversation unless he's guarding. He and KD are going to be the primary covers on Sears. Sears is the leading scorer in the league. He's potential for the player of the year in the league. If we can hold Mark Sears down, our chances of winning are much better. And Denver Jones and KD Johnson and our backcourt are going to have a lot to say about that. So when it comes to impact on winning, their thoughts have got to be, how do we keep the leading scorer in the league from going off on us like he has? And then if along the way he's making a few shots and making a few good decisions, that helps us for sure.
Yeah, so Denver Jones offense, nice. Denver Jones, Katie Johnson's defense against Mark Sears, huge tonight.
Well, it is massive, and we talked about it going into the last matchup. Sears scored 22 points in that game. Only went to the stripe 3 times. For a guard, you would have thought he got to the stripe a little bit more, so they didn't foul him a ton. But Sears has been so consistent. His last 5 games, listen to this: 22 against Tennessee, 22 against Auburn, 21 against LSU, 23 against Georgia, 21 against Mississippi State the other night.
There's a sweet spot for that, right? He had key buckets down the stretch against Auburn in that win. He was not scoring a lot against Georgia. He was key in that comeback and pretty consistent early on against Mississippi State the other night.
Yeah, and he had gone cold a little bit from beyond the arc. Against Missouri, 1 of 4. Against Tennessee, 1 of 3. Against Auburn, 1 of 5. Against LSU, didn't make a 3. But the last 2 games, he's 3 of 5 and 3 of 6 from beyond the arc. When he's hitting threes, Alabama's offense is really, really hard to stop.
Alabama averages 11 threes a game. They hit exactly 11 when they beat Auburn back on January 24th, 79-75. Hard to imagine them hitting 11 tonight in the hostile environment that is Neville Arena. Speaking of that environment, here's Nate Oats, Alabama coach. They worked out last night, by the way, in Neville Arena. Here's Nate talking about just coaching in what is one of the best rivalry games in the country now.
Listen, I get amped up for them like the players do. I coach because I like to compete, and I schedule tough games in the non-conference because I like to compete. I'd rather not just run all over, a bunch of bye games. So, like, these big games to me, they're fun. I mean, I like going in an environment like that. Kind of, like I said, some of it takes me back to my days at Romulus when I was a high school coach, and you get those big rivalry games. Romulus, Belleville, when I first got there, and there's sellouts, and they got to lock the doors, and hundreds of people can't get in, and guys are sneaking in through side doors to try to, it's it's fun. I coach for a lot of reasons, but one of them is it's I don't, it's a way to compete, and I like to compete, and a little different than playing chess or golf. So a little bit more intensity to the competition.
Yeah, and I like that. I like that attitude.
Yeah.
I like playing tough schedules because you don't want to be bored yourself as a coach. And tonight, no boredom in this game. Crazy atmosphere. 6:00. Number 16 Alabama, number 12 Auburn. By the way, Nate 16-20 in his time in Tuscaloosa against the AP Top 25.
16-20, huh?
16-20. So he's played in 36 ranked opponents.
Yeah, but I would not have guessed he had a losing record. I'm actually a little bit surprised by that. They've won the conference twice. They're in the lead in the conference again, halfway mark. I would have thought his record against top 25 a little better than 16-20.
6-3 as a head coach at Alabama against Auburn as they play tonight down there at Neville Arena. Speaking of Neville Arena, we go down to Taylor Corn when we come back. She'll join the conversation. She'll join the chat, if you will. She's mad at me, so we'll see if she talks to me. Taylor on the other side. The show being brought to you by our friends at Gutter Cap. Gutter Cap, getting you ready to, you may be selling your home in 2024. That comes up in the spring, right? Some people put their home on the market. One way to add value to your home before you put it on the market is put that patented aluminum cover system that fits over most existing gutters to keep out debris and eliminate gutter cleaning. It's backed with a lifetime warranty. I know the owner, Chris Stewart, C-Stew. I was talking to him the other day, and he was actually repairing a lifetime warranty on someone's house. So it is a lifetime warranty that they back up. Over 20 years of service record right in Birmingham, so you can ask Gutter Cap customers, and if you know one in your neighborhood, they will tell you just what a wonderful guy C-Stew is and what a great job they do. Stay off that dangerous ladder forever. 45% off the retail price, guttercapbirmingham.com, guttercapbirmingham.com, or call our good friend Chris Stewart, 205-823-2212 for our friends at Gutter Cap, guttercapbirmingham.com.
Never miss anything Auburn. Watch Village Vice at Wardam Pods on YouTube and listen wherever you get your podcasts.
What are you waiting for? It's non-stop gaming action at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Come play more than 900 of the latest and greatest games around, featuring fun bonuses and big jackpots. You can wager and win on horse and greyhound races from all over the world. There are more ways to win at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Birmingham Racecourse Casino, located off I-459, exit 31, Derby Parkway. Must be 21 or older.
You want to look great while supporting your favorite show? You know the place to go is the official Next Round store at nextround.store. Yes, there are .store domains, and we have one. From shirts to hoodies to hats and all kinds of fun stuff, you can rep the Next Round anywhere you go. At the beach, Next Round hats to block out that sun. Up north in the winter, get you a comfy Next Round hoodie. Just need something to put your $20 beer in at a game? Get you a Next Round koozie and throw that thing in your pocket. You never know what stuff Jim's going to make me put in there next. Check it out. It's the Next Round store at nextround.store.
There are so many things I love about Walk-Ons. Authentic, mouth-watering Louisiana cuisine, prepared fresh, daily from scratch. A great beer selection and TVs everywhere to watch the big game every day of the week. And of course, they've got two great locations on Highway 280 and 119 and at Hoover near the Hoover Met. Walk-Ons is also a great place for happy hour, 2 to 6 Monday through Friday with $5 moonshine swirls, $5 house pours, and half-price appetizers. And it's an easy take-home experience for the family as well. Highway 280 in Hoover with Walk-Ons. Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
The Next Round is so much more than the show you get from 9 to 1 each day. So make sure to head to our official YouTube channel at Next Round Live and subscribe to get all of our latest content. We, of course, have plenty of specialty content and shorts based all around the sports in the heart of the SEC. But we also talk pro sports, gambling, lifestyle and entertainment, and so much more. It's the Next Round YouTube channel where you never know what you're going to find next. Subscribe now to see the latest content and get notifications when we go live. That's at Next Round Live on YouTube.
Bandwagon wants to remind you that baseball and softball season is right around the corner, and their shelves are stocked with everything your kid needs. From grip tape to gloves to custom uniforms, Bandwagon has all the gear, big and small, for those ballpark days. Until February 3rd, you spend $100 on baseball or softball equipment, and Bandwagon will give you $20 off. Just tell them the Next Round sent you. Visit locations in Cahaba Heights, Homewood, and Trustful, or go online to bandwagonsports.com. Next Round listeners, it's time to jump on the bandwagon.
All right, Taylor Corn will join the chat here momentarily, and we'll get the scene down at Neville Arena of the folks camping out, getting ready for the big game tonight. They've been there for over 24 hours. Easy sellout. What will this be? 51 in a row, I believe, is the number that they're at now. This will be the 51st consecutive sellout at Neville Arena. Michelson Laser Vision will bring us this inside look at outside of Neville Stadium, brought to you by our friends at Michelson.
I'm a little confused. MichelsonLaserVision.com is the website. Nothing confusing about that, Jim. Or 969-8100. Doctors Jennifer and Mark Michelson. Dr. Mark Michelson, his daughter Jennifer, they are pioneers in the LASIK surgery field. And for Lance, he was darn near blind. They took him basically to fighter pilot vision. So here's what you need to do. You need to get a consultation, see if LASIK surgery is right for you. Can help that distance viewing forever. So call Amy, 969-8100, and say, Lance was blind and he got fighter pilot vision. I want the same thing. She'll know what you're talking about, right? You'll get that consultation from Dr. Mark and Jennifer Michelson. MichelsonLaserVision.com, 969-8100.
What? I'm not looking forward to this. Finally, I see a smile. The whole read there during Michelson, I saw nothing but pierced lips. I thought I was going to get angry, mad at Jim Taylor. But no, I see that the happy face now. Hey, Taylor, how are you?
I'm awesome. How are y'all?
Good. You're outside Neville Arena. It looks like a gorgeous day in Auburn.
I am. It is. It's a little chilly, but it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. We've got, let me flip my camera around.
Okay.
So we've got hundreds, I would say. The thing is there are tents. There are some people out here, but I think a lot of people set their tents up and then left to go to class or,
Yeah, that pesky school thing you got to keep up with, yeah.
But there are some people out here with laptops doing homework and stuff. But yeah, it's a fun environment. Bruce Pearl and Chad Pruitt came out a little bit earlier to say hello and thank you to everyone for bearing the cold to be out here. Dunaway, your comments earlier got me a little riled up.
Well, first off, let's do weather. Is it cold? Isn't it like a high of 60?
It's freezing.
Is it not a high of 67 today?
I think it dropped. It was like 30 something. It was cold it was 40 when I got here. It's still cold. I've been having to go inside for a little to warm my hands up. But I think it's supposed to get warmer this afternoon. But they're about to have to start. They have to have all the tents and all this stuff gone here shortly. So people are starting to pick up and
actually stand in line.
Things.
Yeah.
Oh, so
actually stand.
Yeah. So they put their tents out to get their spot in line, but then they got to get rid of the tents, but they keep their spot in line.
Correct.
Yeah.
I'm guessing. I think a lot of people have people that come out and get their stuff from them.
Yeah.
Like have a friend or something, or one person takes it back and one person doesn't. But obviously this was expected. But the students that I've talked to feel very confident about an Auburn win.
Royal Payne said in your shot earlier he saw a baby princess tent. Do you see the baby?
Oh, wait, let me go try and find it. I'll run.
Have you seen
I think
it?
It's a little down the concourse.
Okay. Oh, you don't have to run. We got all
Hold
the time
on.
in the world here, Little T.
We got all the time.
What do we got?
Okay.
Four downs next segment from EG?
Yeah,
Is that
Emily
what we got
Grace
next
joins
segment?
us with 4 downs in the next segment.
So, I mean,
our show being brought to you by our friends at Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy.
That's right. Auburn basketball tonight, Neville Arena, as they take on the Crimson Tide. 6 o'clock tip on ESPN.
Get a live look of Taylor running there, former high school all soccer, all everything
all
soccer
Metro.
player.
Were you all Metro soccer, Little T?
Yeah, I was.
You were all state, weren't you?
I got.
You broke up there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah, she was all state. Yeah. I mean, she's leading scorer in Vestavia soccer history. I think we've labeled her.
Could have played at Auburn if she wanted to, but she was ready to become a
Here it is.
Non-soccer player.
Oh my gosh! Somebody slept in that.
Is this y'all?
Bigger than the tent.
Yeah, that's it, right. Sorry,
Yeah.
They left their shoes outside.
You had to.
In comparison to a trash can, that's the size.
I mean, that is commitment right there, little T.
By the way, I think Harper had that when she was little.
I don't know. There was
Knock on the tent and just see if Harper's in there.
Yes, I mean,
baby girl, is that you?
Can you tell if there's a human in there?
no,
the
it's
door's moving. Door's moving. Is that just the wind?
It's just chairs.
Oh, it's just
It's
chairs.
just chairs.
Oh, that's just
I
wind.
feel
Yeah.
like, let's be careful here.
Oh.
Oh, wait
yeah,
a minute. They
there's
got a window. Okay, it's nothing but chairs.
Yeah, there's a window. It's just folding chairs.
Oh.
There are some people we got packing up mattresses.
Yeah.
Any scalpers yet? Have you seen anybody selling tickets yet? Probably still too
Not
early.
around here. I haven't.
Yeah.
But I did see that Derek Hall is looking for some
Okay.
on Twitter, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah. Derek Hall, former Auburn football player, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, not just a random guy.
Yeah.
Taylor's not just shouting out random people looking for tickets.
Yeah. Well, I don't know who she follows. Derek Hall, Sigma Chi from Mobile's looking for tickets. Well, Derek Hall could avoid them. I mean, he had such a great year, right? Panthers,
Well,
correct?
I think they're the only ones available are standing room only. So I'm assuming he's looking for a ticket where he doesn't have to stand.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There are none available in the sitting area, so he's willing to pay extra money. Like Kentucky Auburn, my first game ever there a few years ago as a non-working media member, I paid, I think it was $247 for a single ticket in the lower bowl, and only because.
Oh, wait. We have an Auburn super fan. Hold on.
You paid how much, lower bowl?
$247 a single, and the only reason I got that price is because I was buying in with a family of three.
We're live.
We're live.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
Oh wait, can you hear? Do I need to
I
take
can
my
hear
headphones
him, but he won't be able to hear us.
We can
will
hear
he?
him perfectly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that our friend
Okay, let's-
who we
Yes.
also saw?
Are these
Yeah.
the Huntsville commentators?
Yeah, so we are the two commentators. How are you?
Oh, they said, "How are you?" Hold on, I'm trying to take my AirPods out.
Okay.
Technology.
Give me a sec.
Yes.
I know technology.
So how do we know this guy, Jim? How do you know him?
We interviewed him when Taylor and I
Okay.
were there for the Auburn Texas A&M game.
Okay.
And then maybe if it's the same guy who was over.
Oh, here we go.
Did you?
I don't know why the volume's so low.
Was he also in Tuscaloosa? We saw him at the hotel on the way to Alabama.
This audio's
Auburn?
not working. Hold on.
Jeez, Taylor. We send Taylor to Auburn and falls apart. Yeah.
Okay, wait here.
It is cold out there today.
Yeah, it's cold.
That's right here.
Audio is frozen. Taylor's now frozen.
Okay.
All right, Daisy, can you hear us?
I can.
All right, we're back.
Okay, so what's your name?
My name is Michael Floyd.
Michael Floyd, and you're an Auburn super fan?
I am, well, on Twitter, yes, Auburn superfan number 2. I got to give respect to number 1 first.
Okay, who was Auburn super fan number 1?
Auburn superfan number 1 is Chandler Foreman.
Okay, yeah, I've heard of him. Yeah.
Where are you from? What part of the country?
So I am from L.A., as in Lower Alabama, as in Bruton, Alabama, the blueberry capital of the state.
Yeah, it's T.R. Miller, right? That's in Bruton. Is that where you went
That's
to high
right,
school?
go Tigers.
Yeah.
We're on the right side of the creek.
Yeah, okay. Very southern. Hey, so are you?
I see you got your crap talking ready to go for tonight. I hear you. Yeah.
Are you a student at Auburn?
I am. I'm a super senior.
What is a super senior? You've been there a while.
Exactly. Technically,
yes, I had one more year on my contract left here, so I had to stay one more year to fulfill that contract, so they can let me go.
Yeah. Technically, you're super senior number 2. Got to give respect to super senior number 1.
Coach Pearl requested that the students not use profanity tonight. Do you intend to abide by that request?
Me personally, yes, I will. I'm a church boy, so I know how to say some pretty ruthless things in church language. So that's how I'll resort tonight. But I won't be using profanity. I can't speak for everybody else.
Give me some examples. Give me some New Testament
goodness.
student section talking.
You two-faced Lucifer.
Was that be Nate Oats? Is that what you would call Nate Oats? A two-faced Lucifer?
Oh, Probably, but anybody, you know.
Yeah.
It's Alabama. It's personal, but
So Dunaway.
yeah.
Well, that's not that funny.
But truthfully, just look forward to a good game and a good environment against the two best teams in the conference, if not the country.
Yeah.
Okay. Where will you do your pre-gaming, your pre-game tailgate, like ice cream and sundaes, whatever you guys do at Auburn?
Dunaway, okay. We're gonna have a talk.
Okay. Hey, were you part of the tent village? Did you sleep in a tent last night?
I was not a part. I was a coward. I didn't sleep in a tent last night. But there was a lot of brave men and women that did, and I applaud them for it. They love Auburn a little bit more tonight.
Well, fighting in the military, but did you? I mean, so
hashtag Auburn strong.
Will you not have a good seat because you didn't sleep in the tent? Are you gonna have a bad seat tonight?
Probably, but it'll be worth it. It'll be worth it.
Well, I mean, but Auburn Superfan 2, I would think, normally gets seating priority. I would think. I don't know.
Yeah, it was a privilege.
Yeah, you would think a little team.
We'll see. It'll be, regardless whether I'm down low or up top, I'll be in there and I'll be loud. So
not using profanity
at all. None whatsoever.
with all that ice cream.
No profanity, and I shall abide. You know.
Hey, do you know that cool dude that wears the wrestling mask and has a cape and he gets behind the basket and tries to make you miss a free throw?
Yes, Connor. I think Connor Salter. Yeah, great kid.
Yeah, Connor. Yeah,
he knows everybody. Yeah.
It's a great school, man. You know everybody by name.
That's right. What is it?
It's the Auburn family. Everybody doesn't know anything.
That's right. Yeah, it's all family. So, what is your prediction for the game tonight? How do you predict this?
The team with the most points is going to win.
Oh, come on, Connor.
You know it's an easy Auburn win.
And hopefully that'll be Auburn. I hope we can run them out the gym, but it's Alabama. They can get hot from that three at any point in time. I'm going to take Auburn by 7.
Auburn by 7. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, point spread's 5.5, so it's Auburn covering.
Yeah. He doesn't cuss. He's not going to gamble.
No, I was just pointing out for those that might at mybookie.ag. We can get you signed up there.
I don't gamble, but Bruton is like 5-10 minutes from the state line, but I do a scratch off every once in a while.
Okay.
So you're Baptist.
Yes.
Are you really?
I'm what they call a black Baptist. Yes.
Why do they call you that?
I mean, it's just a term that I use, but yes, we're a little ghetto with our worship.
Yeah. Yeah, I go to a Baptist church, and our service runs about hour 10 minutes. How long does your service go?
Oh goodness, back home, maybe 2.5, depending on
2.5 hours. Yep.
Depending on how the music flows.
Yeah, how much of that is preaching? How long does the sermon go?
Well, our new preacher kind of shoots for 45 minutes.
45.
The preacher, he just goes with the flow.
Yeah.
I'm Methodist. We're 59 minutes and 50 seconds. We leave time for a 10-second station identification because those Bloody Marys aren't going to make themselves at brunch.
All right, Auburn Superfan number 2. Good luck tonight. Thank you for the time. Hope you enjoy the game.
Yes, sir. War Eagle.
All right, good to see you.
Oh,
buddy. come
on. You got to say it with more heart than that. You got to believe in it.
Yeah. I like him.
We believe. I believe.
Seems like a nice kid.
Dunaway and I talked to him at what game was that? The A&M game?
Yeah, Texas A&M Auburn down there. We talked to that young man. Yeah.
Yeah. But should we expose the fight that we got in yesterday?
Well,
I don't know
we discussed it. No, we discussed it earlier.
I don't know. I mean, some of this is behind the scenes, Taylor. I have a reputation as being a really nice guy.
No,
you are nice.
I'm just playing with you.
You just push my button. Yeah, it's all fun, and I'm just playing back.
Okay.
Well,
all right.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like you're playing sometimes. Like you scare me sometimes.
Well, then don't purposely push my button.
Like right here, she's scaring me right now.
Well, I mean, I think she's right. I think you ask for it.
I do. I mean, you have to admit though, it does seem like a very big game for you guys.
And was 2 weeks ago not for you?
I don't know if the Alabama people camping. Lunsford, did you see Alabama people camping out for that game?
Yeah.
Now it was a monsoon. They would have needed a boat.
No, Jim was trying to bait you into calling this the Super Bowl. That's what Alabama fans want you to say right here.
But the thing is it's not. This isn't abnormal. That's what pisses me off about all of those comments. This isn't abnormal. This isn't.
I'm glad you got away from Superfan 2 if you're going to use that language. I said I'm glad you got away from Superfan 2 if you're going to start using that language.
Well, I'm trying to get away from everyone because when I just screamed, "Do you purposely push my buttons?" I feel like all the students. I am walking around with a backpack, so I feel like they think I'm in a fight with my boyfriend.
This girl's walking around talking to herself with a backpack.
They're like, dang.
I look like one right now. I'm trying to find a secluded place. But
they heard you fighting with your boyfriend, supposedly, and there's a lot of guys in line now. As soon as she gets off the phone, I'm about to walk over and talk to her. See if I can buy her some pregame ice cream.
So why do you keep saying that?
Because, I mean, you guys are all lollipops down there, man. It's all no cussing.
I'm like, this is what pisses me off. This is what pisses me off. Is you have created this story in your mind of what this is, and it's just what you want to believe so that you can make fun of it. I'm sorry that people like this place and we like each other, but is it so bad to be happy and like your school?
No,
that's all this is.
That's what I mean. It's fantastic. I called it the best atmosphere in college basketball earlier.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And I know you guys, line up early for all the games. Just a little extra when Alabama and Bronny James are in town.
No. Kentucky is no.
Yeah.
The Bronny James thing was just stupid because that was completely normal. I'm like getting so far away from this tenting place because I'm trying to get away from it.
Well, enjoy the sunshine.
Yeah,
I know.
Have fun.
I will.
I know it's going to be an Auburn win because you showed me the sunrise today. And what was the color?
Stop.
What was the color of the sunrise?
Stop saying that.
What was that?
This is all you're trying to do is landmine it. It was. I didn't say anything about the color. I just know that you like those, and I like them too. So when I was driving into the office, it was rising, and so I sent you a picture because I thought you would enjoy it.
Yeah, but
see, we're nice to each other.
The picture you sent me was orange and blue, the sunrise.
Yeah,
and that sky is.
I'm sorry, I don't control the colors of the sunrise.
Yeah, it's more God. Go back to Auburn Superfan too.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Who believes God's an Auburn fan?
Well, this guy's orange and blue. All right, pay attention. Little T will have coverage of the game tonight at Next Round Live, on all social media.
Already sending stuff out today.
That's right.
So it's good stuff down there, including Bruce and Chad Pruitt. Great super assistant number 2, Chad Pruitt, was there and helped with Bruce passing out breakfast and stuff, saying hi to the fans. All that's at Next Round Live. Taylor, enjoy your day in God's country.
I will, and Dunaway and I will probably be live on, I'm guessing, Instagram after the game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I told her I would take since I can't be there.
Yeah.
I told her I would get on afterwards and take my beating.
Okay.
After the Auburn victory tonight.
Yeah. All right.
Stop. I'm gonna leave now. Y'all have a great rest of the show.
Bye, Little T. Thank you. Taylor Corn, our social media director, live from Auburn. By the way, it is official. Ryan Williams has signed his national letter of intent. You can. Anna Snyder is covering that. Who's Anna with? She's with the Tuscaloosa News. So she's covering that.
Really talented reporter. If she says it is a signed...
Well, she's there.
Yeah, well, good. So Ryan Williams officially a member of the Alabama Crimson Tide now. By the way, if you're part of the Yay Alabama Foundation, you can watch a special Yay Alabama signing day show at 2:15 this afternoon on their platform. I'll be there with Aaron Suttles. And we'll be hosting that for about an hour over in Tuscaloosa. If you're part of the Red Elephant Club, you can be there in person over in Tuscaloosa. That's at 2:15 Central this afternoon. And you can see Aaron Suttles and LT in Bama and Bourbon on all of our platforms, including Disrupt the Media on YouTube. When we come back, EG joins us. We'll do our 4 downs today. Then talk to Richard Hendrix at the top of the hour about the game. And at the end of the show, Andy Kennedy, UAB's got a big one Thursday night with 20th ranked Florida Atlantic in town. All that is coming up right here on The Big Show today. That's being brought to you by our friends at Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living. Way to Wellness. Leslie and her board-certified team are there, getting ready to help you jumpstart your weight loss this year. It's the best thing I've ever used. I'm in a maintenance program now that keeps the weight off of me. One time I was kissing 220. At one point. They helped me lose weight. I keep that thing down in the 180s now. Looking for 177 before we get to pool season. It's the easiest plan I've ever done. You just go to this website, aplanforme.com. They'll design something specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and the first consultation is free.
That's all right there at Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living.
Follow The Next Round on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Next Round Live.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service.
Want more of the show? Download the app or visit nextroundlive.com for the latest podcast. The Mystery Fifth Hour, our not for all ages podcasts like Bama and Bourbon, and the entire Double Down Media podcast family, all at nextroundlive.com and on the Next Round app.
Man, I love a good meal. I'm Jim Dunaway. A good meal is what you get with my friend Sterling at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster. We're talking great southern fried chicken, wonderful sides, hand-cut chicken fingers, po' boys, and those Mississippi Delta recipe tamales. You got a perfect menu for everybody. Champy's Chicken is perfect for watching the big game, or taking a meal to the lake house, down to the coast, or stay in the restaurant and dine in a great atmosphere. It's all made fresh to order right there on 119 in Alabaster, Champy's Chicken.
Bandwagon wants to remind you that baseball and softball season is right around the corner and their shelves are stocked with everything your kid needs. From grip tape to gloves to custom uniforms, Bandwagon has all the gear, big and small, for those ballpark days. Until February 3rd, you spend $100 on baseball or softball equipment and Bandwagon will give you $20 off. Just tell them the Next Round sent you. Visit locations in Cahaba Heights, Homewood, and Trustful, or go online to bandwagonsports.com. Next Round listeners, it's time to jump on the bandwagon.
On the field or in the office, you need a solid team and a strong game plan if you want to beat the competition. Xerox Business Solutions Southeast offers everything from printers to managed IT services, as well as hybrid work hardware solutions through our titanium partnership with Dell. For championship-level office solutions, get Xerox Business Solutions Southeast into your starting lineup. Visit xbssoutheast.com/win. Touchdown!
Support the show and grab some great t-shirts and hoodies right now in the Next Round store. Buy the Alabama State Map shirts in your team's favorite colors, the popular Y'all Can Have the Rest, or Next Round flag shirts are also online now. Just go to nextround.store. That's nextround.store. The traditional Next Round logo shirts are there too. Buy them for yourself or they make a great gift for someone else. And let us know what you'd like to see in the store coming up. Nextround.store. That's nextround.store.
Okay, in fact, we're going to call an audible here. Emily Grace is with us. We're going to do 4 downs after we talk to Richard Hendrix, who's at the top of the hour.
We can do that.
Because we just have so much good stuff hanging in. Okay. First, Forrester has a picture, historic picture, of Ryan Williams signing with the University of Alabama. That's him third down there. Yep. 1, 2, third grouping, maybe. Maybe he's in the middle. Big signing at Saraland. A lot of talented folks down there. It's official from Anna Snyder. Ryan Williams to the University of Alabama. That happened today. And then the basketball happening tonight. Bruce Pearl here talking about this game does matter to a lot of people when Auburn and Alabama play each other, but more people this year.
Well, I mean, I think there are 7 forms of championships between Auburn and Alabama in the last, couple of years, whether it's regular season or tournament championships. It's been Auburn or Alabama, and so we're proud of that we're part of that, and I know that there's a moment in SEC history right now that's been the case. It'd be okay with me if that continues to be the case. I just, the Alabama victory means more because obviously it's a great rivalry. We want to win the Iron Bowl. This game matters more to us. It matters more to our fans. It matters more to Auburn family. It matters more to me. It matters more to my players. We get that, but it also matters a lot to the NCAA Tournament Selection Committee. It also matters a lot to our seeding. And it also matters a lot right now as to who's going to win the championship.
Yeah, a lot of people watching this one, and it's going to impact the seeding in the NCAA tournament when Lenardi's bracketology comes out next week. If Auburn wins this game tonight, wouldn't surprise me if Alabama and Auburn are on the same line, or if Auburn's ahead of Alabama on the seeding chart for Lenardi's bracketology. Right now, Auburn's ahead of them in the KenPom.
Yeah, I was looking at the KenPom this morning, Jim, and Alabama's ahead in the net. Auburn is 5th in the KenPom. Alabama is 7th. It goes Auburn, Tennessee, Alabama, 5, 6, 7. And the NCAA's net, Alabama is 5th, Tennessee is 6th, and Auburn is 8th. So Alabama, Tennessee, and Auburn just all grouped together right there, one and the same, basically.
Where does South Carolina fit in with all of that?
Well, South Carolina is, as they used to say in the music days, they got a bullet next to their name.
Rising fast.
Rising fast. But now the net is going to frustrate you sometimes. South Carolina, with a win over Ole Miss at home last night, actually dropped the spot in the net. I don't know. The net... It's frustrating sometimes.
Yeah, but that is the one the selection committee uses, but they also use the human touch. South Carolina did hold off and beat Ole Miss last night. Helping out of Alabama's algorithms, if you will, is Clemson, who's Alabama's only home loss this year. They went on the road last night and beat number 3 North Carolina.
Yeah, it's a huge win for them because the ACC is looking at maybe not getting in as many teams as they thought, or as many teams they normally do. They needed Clemson. That is a huge tournament win for Clemson. Yeah. And only the second time. Do you know that I think they're now 2-60 in Chapel Hill?
2-60?
I think that's right.
Clemson?
Clemson, 2-60. It's not a great basketball program.
Yeah, it has not. North Carolina's been so good, but 2-60.
2-60. I mean,
you think we could get 5 people together in 62 tries and win one every now and then.
I know.
Surprisingly, in Neville Arena, which isn't that old, 2010, right, Forrester? Is that when Neville opened, I think, 2010? Does that sound about right?
I think that's right.
Sounds about right. Alabama is 7-5. Excuse me. Auburn has a 7-5 lead over Alabama, but it's closer than most people would expect in Neville Arena. So Alabama's actually won 5 times in Neville down there. But Auburn leads the series 33-29 in Auburn. Alabama leads the series by a lot, and most of those wins coming Tuscaloosa and in other places there. The other conversation stuff you had, I assume, is off of your 4 downs?
It is.
Okay.
Lots of good stuff here.
We'll get to that after we talk to Richard Hendrix about the game coming up at the top of the hour. A couple of reaction things for you here. Jump in, please. Brock Purdy. And you're in this business now. Mm-hmm. So eventually you will cover a Super Bowl. There will be Super Bowl media days. Cut number 10, Rockstar. And we'll get back to Nate Oats later in the show. You get a lot of stupid questions when these media days. You saw it at the Rose Bowl. Now, times that time 10.
Okay.
And you saw people asking stupid questions out there, Michigan and Alabama, right?
For sure.
Just trying to be different. Trying to be different, right?
Right.
This one
might take the cake.
A little over the line, maybe. Put Brock Purdy in a bad situation for our friends at NBC Sports out there in the Bay Area who cover the 49ers. This is not one of their reporters. Random reporter asking this question of Brock Purdy.
There's of you and Lee Harvey Oswald circling around the internet right now. People think you two look alike. Did you ever hear that before?
I haven't. That's my first time hearing it. Yeah.
What do you think about that comparison? Physical comparison, obviously.
I don't know.
Oh, they kind of do. I like when he started smiling right there. He kind of looks like Lee Harvey Oswald. I'm not going to lie.
There's a side-by-side picture from Josh Chavis and the folks at Barstool, and they start putting the pictures together. It creeped me out a little bit, by the way.
The delivery of it just was not great.
I like how the reporter's like, what do you think about that comparison? I mean, looks-wise. We don't think you've tried to shoot a president or anything. Allegedly.
Yeah.
We don't think you were a patsy in a cover-up by the CIA. But
meanwhile, though, a lot of great comments off of that yesterday on social media. I will not get into any of them, but there were some accuracy questions about Brock Purdy's Super Bowl effort coming up.
Have you guys, before we jump subjects, have y'all seen Jeremiah, the 11-year-old reporter that's there right now?
He was the star of it.
Star of everything.
Funny kid. Yeah.
And he's so intellectually. Yes.
Yeah.
He's excellent.
I'll go find
Some
it.
of the best questions I've heard, even for me, like I'm learning from Jeremiah.
Richard Hendrix, analyst in studio with the SEC Network this week, does a lot of stuff with college basketball. He joins us next to talk about number 16 Alabama and number 12 Auburn. That's when we come back right here on TNR.
Follow LT on Twitter at @TheLanceTaylor.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations: Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
Legacy Credit Union has the ultimate game changer for your finances. With Engaged Checking, you can earn 3% APY on balances up to $15,000. You heard correctly, 3% APY. But it's not just about scoring with high yields. With Engaged Checking, you can get paid up to 2 days early. That means your paycheck, Social Security, tax refund, you name it, you get it early. So stop sitting on the sidelines and get in the game with Engaged Checking. Sign up today at legacycreditunion.com or visit any 9 Greater Birmingham area branches. APY is annual percentage yield. Terms and conditions may apply. See Credit Union for details. Federally insured by the NCUA.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about our friends at Gutter Cap. Gutter Cap's that patented aluminum cover system that fits over most existing gutters to keep out debris and eliminate that gutter cleaning. It's backed with a lifetime warranty, almost 20-year service record right here in Birmingham. Stay off that dangerous ladder forever. 45% off the retail price now if you call guttercapbirmingham.com. Call my good friend Chris Stewart now, 205-823-2212. Cap it, don't snap it. It's Gutter Cap.
There are so many things I love about Walk-Ons. Authentic, mouth-watering Louisiana cuisine prepared fresh daily from scratch. A great beer selection and TVs everywhere to watch the big game every day of the week. And of course, they've got 2 great locations on Highway 280 and 119 and at Hoover near the Hoover Met. Walk-Ons is also a great place for happy hour, 2 to 6 Monday through Friday with $5 moonshine swirls, $5 house pours, and half-price appetizers. And it's an easy take-home experience for the family as well. Highway 280 and Hoover with Walk-Ons.
Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. The social media team at Next Round Live will share the latest interviews and videos from UAB, Alabama, Auburn, and campuses all over the college landscape. You'll also get the latest highlights and news from the Next Round Live daily show. Jim, Lance, and Ryan will share their thoughts, and remember, you can always see the old shows on the Next Round Live YouTube channel. Subscribe, like, and don't forget to comment. Turn on the notifications so you don't miss a thing. It's Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube.
The wait is over. Tonali has arrived. Beautifully distinctive Italian styling and performance. Come test drive the all-new 2024 Alfa Romeo Tonali plug-in hybrid at Alfa Romeo of Birmingham. The all-new Tonali offers best-in-class horsepower and torque, fastest 0 to 60 times in its class, plus best-in-class range with full electric charge. And best of all, qualified Tonali leasees are eligible for up to $7,500 EV tax credit factored into your lease. Hurry down to Alfa Romeo of Birmingham and experience the all-new Tonali.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
All right, top of the hour brought to you by our friends at Champy's Chicken, champyschicken.com, Highway 119 in Alabaster. More on Champy's coming up a little bit this hour, but it's a perfect meal to go get for lunch or dinner or to take home to watch the big game tonight. Which Brownie? Biggest game in the country, 16 Alabama, number 12 Auburn.
Well, a guy that has played in this game before. You saw him in studio last night with the SEC Network, Richard Hendrix, former Alabama great, at rhendrix35. He and the shooter and Peter Burns in the studio last night. The shooter was on the show. Anytime he comes on the show, Richard, it is a wild, wild journey. I can imagine hanging with him for several hours watching hoops.
It definitely is, but, you know, the shooter needs a big man to throw it down to every once in a while, so I had to join him in there and kick it back out to him, let him knock one down. But we had a good time in there last night and a lot of fun with some really good games.
So we were talking about this earlier. Rarely, and the numbers back this up, have both teams been this good at the same time. And as a guy that played in this game, I would imagine even though Auburn was a big rival, State was a big rival for you when you were at Alabama, seeing these two programs being among the best in the SEC so consistently still has to warm your heart to see what this rivalry is. A guy that grew up in this state, what this rivalry is in basketball.
I mean, I love it. I mean, you talk about you want to see Alabama and Auburn with high-level basketball. And not only is it just basketball from a team perspective, but you talk about individually. It's been some stars and NBA prospects in the recent matchup. You talk about Walker Kessler, Jabari Smith at Auburn, Brandon Miller, and Noah Clowney in recent years. The last 3 SEC championships in high-level coaching. 2 different styles of basketball, too, that are exciting to watch. I think it's going to be another really good matchup. You know, Alabama winning the last 3. Auburn's going to be hungry, and the jungle will definitely be rocking in there. So it should be another good one.
Richard, yesterday, Bruce Pearl talked about how if they can hold Mark Sears down, they have a better chance of winning. Realistically, what does it look like to contain a player like Sears?
Well, that's hard to do. You know, talking about Sears, I think him along with Dalton Knecht, and you have to throw in Antonio Reeves, are in a really close race for the SEC Player of the Year. You're talking about a guy who's a 50, 40, 90 guy, flirting with that 50% from 2, 40% from 3, and almost 90% from the free throw line. He's very, very strong. He loves to get out in transition, gets downhill, explosive when he gets around the basket and not afraid to finish amongst the bigs. And when you leave him open, he can knock down the 3 balls. So, I mean, that has to be the game plan. He's definitely the straw that stirs the drink with Alabama. But that's a much easier said thing to do than to stop Mark Sears.
As a guy who played the game, and Auburn had to deal with this on January 24th, and Alabama will deal with it tonight, road games and road officiating, is it perception or reality that maybe the home team gets a call or 2 more than the visiting team, or is that just a thing you can't think about as a visiting player?
It definitely seems as a reality. Listen, you know, I coach my kids' team, 8-year-old and 6-year-old. My 8-year-old was in the playoffs last night, and it seemed like there was some home cooking on the other side with the Austin first round after being the number 1 seed. So, listen, I'm not over that just yet. So when you talk about being the road team and you show on the road, it does seem like the calls don't go your way. And you have to admit, the human element is part of the game. When the crowd gets into it and you see that controversial block charge call, and depending on where you are in the game, if the crowd is behind it, I would have to say that it seems like officials definitely lean towards making the call that's going to make it more comfortable than them when the crowd is on top of them. So when you're the home team, teams get on big runs, officiating definitely plays a role. But when you're coming into those games, you have to block that out. You have to know it's going to be the case, and you have to just play the game.
Yeah, it was very physical over in Coleman Coliseum. Did you ever find that officiating crews, the different crews, called things differently? Like they let them play a little bit in Tuscaloosa, and that may have helped Alabama out a little bit. Do you think officiating crews are different personality-wise about how they let you play? They don't let you play certain ones?
I think they do. And you know, oftentimes, if you want to be honest, I know a lot of times it seems like late calls that officials make play a role in the game. But if official really wanted to change the complexion of the game, they would do it in the very beginning. You'd get a couple cheap fouls called, some over the back, sometimes moving screen early on in the game that would change the whole complexion with one of the better players. But it's a different game than when I played. The physicality was embraced in the low post. You're going to see a guard-heavy pick-and-roll action in today's game. So a lot of the fouls that you see are not necessarily going to be committed when you talk about the physical play. But at the same time, it's a saying you have as a player, and a lot of coaches will say this, you know, if you foul 20 times, the officials will call 20 fouls. If you foul 40 times, the officials will call 20 fouls. So the team that goes out there and plays with the aggression will set the tone for the officiating, and that will be how the game will be. They're not going to foul everybody in the game, but you got to play hard.
Richard Hendrix with us for a few more moments on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline, SEC Network, former Alabama great at rhendrix35 on Twitter. Nate Oats was talking about how loud the crowd gets at Neville Arena and how it affects communication. As a player, how does that manifest itself? Like, give me examples of the difficulty of communicating on the road. Where can that crop up?
Well, I'll tell you several examples of those. When you talk about teams and they change defenses, and particularly if they press or do some surprising, they've been playing man for a few possessions and then they switch the zone. If you have a player that's headed down in offensive transition with his head away from the point guard and he's not paying attention to the call that's being changed, that possession where they're not paying attention, you don't get the right play in, and you end up shooting a bad shot at the end of the shot clock without making the defense work, that kind of stuff leads into possessions that have been given away. And when you have really good basketball, two really good teams, you cannot throw away a possession. You have to come down the court, organized, knowing where the ball is going, recognizing what the defense is in, and then try to get a quality shot. If you shoot a bad shot, you might as well just count that as a turnover. So the crowd noise definitely plays a factor. You have to be prepared for it. Point guard play and guard play has to be solid. They have to quarterback the team, make sure everyone's understanding. And when you're listening to your coach to give you some instructions in the timeout, understand that you have to be able to use that for several plays, several possessions, and be aware if he needs to make a change up on the fly. Very hard to do with a hostile crowd.
Yeah, that's great insight. One more question about Auburn, because the first time this game was played, there were a lot of people saying, why is Janai Broome not touching it every time? They've got a huge advantage on the inside. They probably still have that advantage tonight, but since Alabama has moved Nelson to the inside, it feels like that interior defense has been a little better for the Tide.
It's been much better. I think that Nelson is definitely a fighter. And then sometimes, I will say this, as a big man, it's more difficult to play against a wing player. And Nelson is not a traditional big, by any shape of the matter, but it's more difficult to play against a guy who has the agility, that can move his feet, that can front you in the post, that can show different looks, that maybe is lighter, that you have a little bit of alert, that they might take a flop or a charge. So it's harder at sometimes to play physical basketball against a guy that has quicker feet. Nelson has done a really good job stepping in, but it's not just going to be what he's going to do defensively. He has the skill set to be an alpha. And early in the season, I think a lot of people saw him doing a lot of really good things, but he has kind of fallen off from the offensive production and turned into a really high-quality glue guy. If Alabama's going to get this win tonight, they're going to need a big performance out of Grant Nelson and also as well to pair him along with the guards.
Fantastic insight, Richard Hendrix. See him on the SEC Network. Follow him on Twitter at rhendrix35. Richard, thank you very much for the time. Always great catching up.
Thank you, guys.
All right, buddy. Talk soon. Richard with us on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline. Love his insight. Does a great job for the SEC Network.
He really does. I just don't think Alabama can match the physicalness under the boards 2 games in a row. Janai Broome, he leads the league in rebounds. He averages right at 9 rebounds a game. Dylan Caldwell is a factor as well, another big body. In Alabama, they'll get Pringle back. Nelson's playing down there a lot now. They can throw Wagi. Diabate has become a bigger physical body down low. But unless Alabama shoots the 3 well with their 4 guards, I don't know if they can match them physically underneath. Seems like Jalen Williams has become, a guy that when he has a scoring night like he can have, that's when Auburn's unstoppable.
Well, I will say, though, they didn't really shut down Tulu Smith against Mississippi State the other night. I mean, he scored 23. He led all scorers in the game.
He did. A lot of that felt like it was late. I didn't keep up with it. And Alabama got ahead like a 20-4 run, and it was comfortable the whole game.
Well, I was just going to say, Alabama countered that by being 15-48 from beyond the arc. Yeah. So Alabama all day long will trade 3s for 2s with you if they can do that.
Absolutely. 11 threes the first meeting. Mm-hmm. But if you look, Alabama is averaging 89.9 points a game, virtually 90 points a game, leads the country. 90 points a game is what they're averaging. They beat Auburn at home 79-75.
Well, it was as Bruce Pearl, or Stephen, I think, pointed out, Stephen on the show, Stephen Pearl, that, against Alabama and who was the other? Was it State? I think it was Alabama and State. It was their 2 worst offensive, metric performances of the year. So Auburn's defense did their job in those games.
They held Alabama 11 points. At home, 11 points less than what they normally score. And Alabama still hit 11 threes, their average, in that game. And they still scored 11 points less than what they normally score. That's because Auburn's defense holds their opponents the best in the league, 38% field goal percentage. Not from 3, 38% from anywhere on the floor. That's how good Auburn's defense is. And then they're better at home. Big challenge tonight. Got to keep in mind, it's only one game. It's basketball. It's not do or die, but Alabama and Auburn tonight, where Auburn's a 5.5-point favorite with our friends at mybookie.ag. Enjoy the contest with The fine folks at Redmond Vodka, Charles Barkley, Auburn legend, his vodka company, Redmond Vodka, where they work on clarity in taste, color, and smell. Vodka perfection. Redmond Vodka, 8 times distilled. Live legendary, but live responsibly with our friends at Redmond Vodka there. And also by our friends at the University of Montevallo. If you're looking for a great place for your son or daughter to go to school, do your research. And start by typing in montevallo.edu to learn more about the great institution that is the University of Montevallo. Wonderful academics, great place if you want to be a teacher, a sports broadcaster. Maybe you want to be a business leader. Whatever you want to be, Montevallo can make it happen. And also, if you want to continue your athletic career, you can do that at Montevallo too. 23 NCAA Division II, fully funded scholarship sports. It's all at Montevallo. Schedule that in-person tour, montevallo.edu, montevallo.edu. Okay, 4 downs coming up here. We'll get to that in just a second. A couple other notes for you. Lance isn't here, but if he was, he'd be excited that Clayton Kershaw has reached a contract deal to come back for his 17th season with the Los Angeles Dodgers.
What a career, man.
And he's got a option year for 1 more year to make it 18 years if he wants to do that. It's important for the Dodgers this year because Ohtani cannot pitch, so they hope to get some numbers out of Kershaw
now,
pitching.
Kershaw may not be able to pitch until at least the second half of the season,
That's
so that
right.
adds another element.
Down crunch time, but he's that left-hander that can help you when you get to the playoffs down the stretch. Another lifer for his franchise likely looks like it's going to be Jose Altuve, who got a 5-year deal. I know a lot of people don't like him, but got a 5-year deal with the Astros, $125 million. That happened yesterday as well. And I'll ask you this question.
Okay.
How many hole-in-ones have you had in your life?
0.
0. What about Mikey?
Oh, lots.
Lots?
I would say
Wow.
closer to 10, I think.
Is he like
Over
the
5.
Prime Minister of North Korea?
Maybe.
Yeah. Brown, how many have you had?
Yeah, about 8 holes in one, EG.
More of a dictator than a prime minister, not Mikey of South Korea. I've had 2 in my life, Jim.
2 in your life?
Yeah.
Let me just run through. Tiger Woods, it says he's had 20.
I would believe that. That's actually kind of low.
3 of those on the PGA Tour.
Yeah.
Arnold Palmer said he had 21.
Okay.
21. Jack Nicklaus said he had 20. Phil Mickelson, in a interview with Liv, says he has 47.
47?
That's Phil. I mean,
5 of them on the PGA Tour, but he
Yeah.
says 47.
Not that I'm counting.
47.
Tiger counted 20.
Yeah,
I mean, when do you stop counting?
I don't know. I don't really know. It's a
Quick
good point.
question. You believe Phil or not?
I mean, it's Phil. I mean, 47's a lot, but the guy's a good player, too. That's a lot. I mean, Tiger had 20. He's like
Tiger
double
admits
Tiger.
to 20. Jack admits to 20. Arnie admits to 21.
Phil, 47.
Mickelson's had 47. You believe him or not?
I want to, but I don't know. That's a lot.
That is a lot.
That's a lot.
I mean, yeah. Again, I feel like I'm listening to Kim Jong-un.
Yep.
Who had 18 in one round.
And he quit golf. He was
And he
done.
quit golf. I can't get any better than 18 holes
This
in
isn't
one.
very fun. But
Yes.
it's supposed to be competitive.
Let's do 4 downs. It is brought to you by our friends at Slice. Emily Grace has them for us today. Brownie, tell us about the great folks at Slice.
Jim, there are 4 great locations. Slice Pizza.
Phil Mickelson says there's 5.
Phil Mickelson says you get sliced anywhere in America. Great original pizzas. My favorite is the soul pie, which includes those black-eyed peas, the turnip greens, the Conecuh sausage. I get it with no onions. That hot mama is fantastic, too. Wing and a prayer. The barbecue beef brisket. Oof, such good pizzas. SliceBirmingham.com to find the location nearest you. SliceBirmingham.com.
First down.
Okay. Who in the office would be a secret agent / living a double life?
I feel like I say Tyler to all of these. I'm going to go Melton. I think Melton could be... So here's why Melton could be a great double agent. If I were going to...
He blends into the crowd.
That's why. Because, like, they would never pick this guy to be the,
he doesn't
the
blend
double
in.
agent because he doesn't
doesn't.
blend in at all. Melton's like... He's like 7'3" and stands out in every crowd. So Melton would be the perfect double agent because I would never see that coming. I'd be like, that's not the guy I would have picked.
It's like hiding in plain sight.
He's hiding in plain sight. That's the way you would want it.
Well, I think as we do often with these questions, I would be the worst double agent.
Yeah.
Because
You would tell everybody.
Because I wouldn't trust. I would feel like both sides were trying to stab me in the back.
Do you know about my secret identity? I don't know if I've told you yet. You don't? Okay. Then never mind.
Well, never mind. I brought that. I should not have brought that up.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I thought I was talking to my other agency.
Oh my goodness.
Second down.
What athlete has stayed in the game too long?
Jim just brought up Clayton Kershaw.
Possibly Clayton Kershaw.
That was what inspired this question.
I knocked Lance over again. Clayton Kershaw.
It sounds like you are popping champagne on the side of the studio. Woo! Another prize. There we go.
He stayed too long. I mean, I hate to say that about Kershaw. He's had a good career, but I mean, by and large, is remembered for his postseason failures, unfortunately.
Technically, it could be Phil Mickelson.
I hope he hasn't stayed too long, Kershaw. It could be Mickelson.
Mickelson just made a good run, though, a couple of years ago, right?
Yeah.
Well, he won a major at age 51,
Yeah.
so it's hard to say you've stayed too long when you're winning a major at age 51.
So I take that back.
Yeah.
I mean, Kershaw's a good example, but man, if you
Forrester says JT Daniels. Gary says the Miami tight end played year number 9.
JT Daniels is a good answer.
I have two.
Okay.
Matt Ryan and Conor McGregor.
The actor?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Matt Ryan is an announcer now, though.
I know, but he stayed too long.
He stayed
Was that
too
one year
long.
with the Colts was too much for you?
Well,
Or was it with his time with the Falcons?
Time with the Falcons. I think
Yeah.
it says more about the organization around him because what was it? He had over 4,000 yards every year since like 2011.
There's a chance Russell Wilson has.
Well, I mean, it did look like it early and then late this year. In the middle, he kind of, became Russ again. But
Had a moment.
early and late with Denver, it just did not look great this year.
Yeah. I'm gonna go non-player. Al Michaels, maybe.
Interesting. It's one of the greatest of all time, but it has not been great of late.
Yeah,
I would
he's
give you
getting
that.
bad press lately.
Yes,
Julio
he is.
Jones is a good guess there. Yeah. Pujols with the Angels. Yeah, he was like a 212 hitter until last year with the Cardinals, which he was good. Julio Franco. Yeah, good answers. Okay.
Oh, brilliant.
Third down.
A lot of Julio Jones in the chat room there.
Aaron Rodgers.
Albert Pujols to the Angels. That did start, and he came back to the Cardinals, and it
For
was
1 year, and it was great.
Yeah, but that time with the Angels was not great.
Not good.
That's a lot of baseball in like a short amount of time. I like it.
Okay.
Other than wings, what's something that must be on your menu Sunday?
I do like wings. I don't usually search them out, but I do like them.
I think
So
search them out. Oh, hi, we have wings. I would say football dip. My wife does a really good football dip with the cheese and the rotel and the ground beef or ground sausage. Yeah, I like that.
Oh, I need that menu, that recipe.
Okay, I'll get
So
Jennifer
what
to
do
send it,
you-
Maggie.
Yeah,
Or you can just invite me to your house. But
Because
no,
we always do a buffalo chicken dip.
I
which
love buff dip.
I don't love it.
You know
I love it.
do you
Maggie
like-
loves making
do
it.
you
Search
like
it out.
So as a good husband, I eat it.
Do you like caramel and toffee?
Oh God, Brown.
Oh, I got to
That
send
is my
you that
love
one.
language.
Is
so
it?
good.
I got to send you the dip Jennifer makes. I will get her to send you the recipe. It's not hard to do now.
What do you
It's-
drag through that? Green
well,
apples?
It's made to drag apples through.
Oh,
And I'll tell you what,
so yummy.
let me give you the cheat code. I get the mini Nilla wafers, and I do that
Wow.
with them.
Yes.
Phenomenal.
I do love hot dogs. G. Curbo.
Yeah.
Jerkabo. I love a good hot dog.
Oh,
Oh, Jerkabo. I love a good hot dog.
Fourth
right.
down.
So today is Garth Brooks' birthday, as well as John Deere. Who is
The
more?
tractor?
Yes.
She sent me a John Deere letter.
I love that line.
Who is more appreciated by Southerners? Garth Brooks or John Deere?
It's probably John Deere, honestly.
Can I give you guys some facts about both?
Sure.
Yeah, hold on.
Better
Garth Brooks.
JD, John Deere, Jim Dunaway.
Garth Brooks, Friends in Low Places. But John Deere has its own color. It's John Deere green.
It is John Deere green.
True.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a tough question, but I think I'll probably go John Deere. I
Yeah.
think there are probably some old school country boys that think Garth is just a little not country enough.
Not
it's not
country enough.
Merle
Yeah.
and stuff like that. I love Garth Brooks. Don't get me
I do
wrong.
too. Puts on a great show.
Yeah.
Call him Baton Rouge.
This JD, he had the first steel plow in 1837. And
John Deere did?
Yeah.
So
And-
John Deere's a real person.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, real person. And
plowman.
in 1998, his company hit 1 billion.
1 billion?
1 billion.
what year?
1998.
Oh, it didn't do it until 98.
Took y'all that long?
I mean, my God, you only hit 1 billion.
Yeah.
I mean, Garth ain't gonna hit 1 billion.
Yep.
Now, he's pretty rich, but I don't think he's gonna hit 1 billion.
No.
John Deere doesn't know how to spell his last name, though. Too many E's. right? DEERE.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 3 E's.
I guess one extra E.
It's a bonus E.
Yeah.
It's 3 E's. Like
How
when
would you want it spelled? Just
I'm just saying, I think we pay for that E. Those John Deeres are not cheap.
It's more E's than Dunaway's baseball career.
That is, yes. That is 4 Downs, brought to you by our friends at Slice. A couple other birthdays today. I was going to go with Garth Brooks if Lance was here. Better because today was my day to do 4 Downs, and she bailed me out. Better career. How would Lance? Let's everybody answer.
Garth Brooks or Aaron Donald?
No. Today, both of these birthdays today, everybody answer how Lance would answer. Garth Brooks or Matt Stafford?
Well, the guys won a Super Bowl.
Okay, well, before you guys say Garth Brooks, let me give you Matt Stafford. Yes.
Garth Brooks has never even competed for a Super Bowl.
It's got to be Garth.
I don't know, dude.
I mean, I think even Lance would go Garth over Matt
Garth
Stafford.
didn't play the SEC, did he?
He did not. He was Oklahoma State.
Chris Rock, Ashton Kutcher, both birthdays today. Better career.
Chris Rock.
Yeah.
Ashton Kutcher has a good investment career.
Yeah, but Chris Rock entertainment career is better.
Yeah, well, I mean, we need to have a little definitive of what we decide as career. 'Cause sometimes we go money, sometimes we go recognition,
It
sometimes
does get
we go
confusing
looks.
at times. Yes.
Yeah. Kutcher does a lot of God's work helping sex trafficking right
He
now.
does.
He's fighting that right now.
I was not including that in the discussion.
But I do love Chris Rock early
Rock's
days.
amazing. They're both great.
Rock. It's been a while though since Chris Rock really hit a home run with me in his new videos. Like his last tour through Birmingham.
It's like a slap in the face, isn't it?
Yeah, it was like maybe he stayed around too long. He's got to
Wow.
do good. Steve Nash or James Spader, both birthdays. It's a good birthday.
I'd go Steve Nash. Steve Nash, league MVP.
It's unfortunate to see what happened to James Spader. You had that great head of hair, and then just all hell went loose.
What do you say?
Oh, I'm not saying anything. I'm pot, buddy. He had great hair. Like a sex symbol, and then he turns into Blacklist, and he's just the old bald man.
I only know him in Blacklist.
Wasn't he the cokehead in that 80s movie where everybody did cocaine?
Oh, that one.
Yeah. No, he was in Seinfeld. He was the alcoholic that worked at the Baskin Robbins.
He hated his job, did he?
Yeah.
Where's that rum raisin?
All right, that is it. That is our 4 Downs today. When we come back, Emily Grace is going to hang around and give us trash. We'll let you hear a little bit more from Nate Oats and Bruce Pearl before the big game happening tonight. And we'll recap anything else you need to going on in sports that's being brought to you today by our friends at Champy's, world-famous fried chicken, champyschicken.com, Highway 119 in Alabaster. Forrester is going to show you that great picture right there. Mississippi Delta recipe tamales right there at the top. Southern fried chicken right in the middle with all the wonderful sides and includes some great baked beans and other great foods there. Brined overnight, cooked to order, comes out steaming hot, piping hot. Hand-cut chicken fingers, perfect to watch the big game this weekend. Great bar area, family atmospheres, Champy's Chicken, Highway 119 in Alabaster.
Follow Brownie on Twitter and Instagram at Ryan Brown Live.
For more than 40 years, Red Wing Shoes has been helping the hardworking people of Alabama. This is why Red Wing Shoes has created the 3-step comfort solution. Step 1, a certified fit specialist will use a 3D scan to electronically measure your feet and arches. Step 2, the fit specialist helps you get the appropriate footwear for your occupation. Step 3, customize your boot or shoe with a Red Wing orthotic. Whether you have a high arch or flat feet, Red Wing has comfort solutions for you. So experience comfort at its best. Visit one of the Red Wing shoe stores located in Pelham or Trussville.
Hey, if you're looking for Birmingham's best pizza, you need to stop in and see our friends at Slice Pizza and Brew. It's as local as you can get, from the ingredients that go into every pizza to the beer on tap. For a great lunch or dinner, go see our friends today, Vestavia or Lakeview at Slice.
Make sure to start your day at nextroundlive.com. Get caught up on the latest podcasts and videos from the live daily show, plus specialty shows such as the Mystery Fifth Hour. You can also learn more about the whole staff at Double Down Media, find all of our social media feeds, see the latest videos from our YouTube channel and gaming channel, plus find other ways to consume the show like the Next Round mobile app, which you can download direct from the site via your iOS and Android device. Make nextroundlive.com your homepage and stay up to date with everything from us here at the Next Round.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing. Let's face it, a home is one of the most powerful assets you can have, and our friends at Mortgage Right want to help you build wealth through home ownership. Mortgage Right is all about providing competitive rates, a variety of loan products, and a multitude of resources for a seamless home buying experience. They treat their borrowers like family and are always looking to bring more happy homeowners under their roof. See more by visiting mortgageright.com/TNR today and start living. That's mortgageright.com/TNR. NMLS 2239, equal housing lender.
Hey, Ryan Brown here from The Next Round. Do you want to help pay for my kids' college and look great while you're doing it? You need to go to The Next Round store. Everything from hats to short sleeve and long sleeve t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, zip-up hoodies, and much more. And we're adding new things all the time. Why would you not want to see my kids get a great college education and look great out in the public while you're doing it? Get the gear we wear all the time on the show, and there's only one place to get it. nextround.store. That's nextround.store.
All right, five-star athlete Terry Bussey to Texas A&M. Wide receiver Bethel Roman made his commitment today, and I think he went to Texas A&M too. Is that correct? Four-star wide receiver. We'll check that out. And then, of course, Ryan Williams signed with Alabama. That's the National Signing Day stuff. Back to Alabama and Auburn basketball. We had Taylor Korn live from Neville Arena earlier in the show. You've heard a lot from Nate and Bruce Pearl. Rockstar, let's go first off, cut number 3 on Nate Oats. Getting asked yesterday if this is the best coaching job he's done in his time at Alabama. Let's listen in.
Given that you mentioned the turnover on this roster and given, maybe Charles Bediako's unexpected departure to start, is this one of your best coaching jobs, do you feel like you've had since you've been here?
I'm probably not the one to judge that, to be honest with you, but I'm just trying to not have a collapse here in the second half of conference play. We think as soon as you start feeling like you're doing a great job coaching, the sky starts falling. So, listen, I'll give you a really good self-evaluation of that after the season's over. It's been a learning curve for myself, the new staff, the team, but I think we're headed the right direction. We got to keep this thing rolling. There's a lot of games left to be played, so I don't think anybody should be evaluating any job anybody's done, players or coaches, until we get a lot more games under our belt here.
Well, the answer is yes. He won't say yes, but the answer is yes. I mean, this guy lost his entire staff in the offseason, right? All 3 assistants in the offseason. Had to rebuild that while still get recruiting done. Basically rework a roster to a certain extent. I mean, you got, Mark Sears back, Rylan Griffin back, with a lot of new faces on there. Lose Brandon Miller and Charles Bediako, and is still halfway through the season leading the SEC. That's a heck of a coaching job.
Now, you were at Auburn yesterday.
I was.
And this is your interview with Chad Baker Mazzaro.
Mm-hmm.
This guy has turned in, even though he's a newcomer. To me, he's sort of a little bit of the heartbeat of this team at times.
He is, and obviously we're all familiar with what he did at Ole Miss at the half by calling the players-only halftime. And you have to have so much faith, not only in yourself,
really do.
But I have the question, if that second half had not turned out to be one of their best halves in basketball thus far, do you put blame on him because he was bringing the intensity and the team around him didn't? Or do you blame, what happens there? You know what I mean? Because that has to go really correctly.
It's a gamble.
It's got to go well.
It is.
Like Steven said yesterday, he kicked BP out of the locker room. That's a ballsy move to begin with. And then you got to back it up once you do that. Yeah.
And luckily, the team did back it up. But then, do you still count it as a win for him, even if they don't come out and win the second half, but they still showed better intensity? What are the markers and the parameters on something like that?
Yeah. So with that said, Chad Baker talking about the last trip to Tuscaloosa and how they let one they felt like slip away, a chance to win in Tuscaloosa, and how it could impact the game tonight down at Neville Arena.
I feel like we wasn't as locked in. We let like the little bit outside let us bother us a little bit, and just make sure we run our stuff. I think we let them bother us a little bit. You know, they're playing a little bit more physical, I feel like, and we let that get to our head, but I said now they're coming to the jungle. So we'll see how it goes.
Now you're in the jungle, baby. They're coming to the jungle. Hey, reminder, the tip-off of the hula bows happening later tonight.
I like this one.
One thing he said, and I know EG probably heard it, was he was like, I knew I got intense because I didn't realize it, but they told me later I started speaking in Spanish.
They were like, he said to us, he said they had to tell me English. We don't know what you're saying.
All right. It is time for trash. Andy Kennedy's coming up at 11:45. I say that for...
could be quick.
For me as much as anybody else.
Be quick. We got to play these first two clips.
Let's go. It's brought to you by our friends at Mortgage Right. Hit it, Rockstar.
Hey, boys. So you got USFL football coming to town this weekend, huh? You excited about that?
Yeah.
LT's Trash is presented by Mortgage Right. Mortgages done the right way.
Daryl Johnston on the show earlier today, Rockstar.
I saw that.
Yeah. Mortgage Right wants to remind you your first stop if you're looking to buy a house, refinance your house, is mortgageright.com/TNR. Veteran-owned, veteran-operated. So they've also got great programs for those men and women who have served so bravely in the United States military. See more at mortgageright.com/TNR. NMLS 2239, Equal Housing Lender, EG.
Okay. I don't agree with this first one, and I'm intrigued to see what you guys say.
Not an endorsement.
7 things boomers still spend money on that millennials and Gen Z don't.
I'm not a boomer. No,
you
I'm
guys
not.
are.
Boomer ends at 62.
Okay, I am not a boomer
62,
then,
63.
thankfully. All right, let's
the
go.
year?
Yeah.
Or the age?
The being born.
Being born
Oh,
at
okay.
62, yeah.
Even I'm not.
Even Jim's not a boomer.
Glad we got that out of the way.
I thought it was 66.
So this is our
All right.
parents' generation.
Parents that, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cable TV.
I'm right there, by the way.
Well, we're going back to cable TV.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I don't do cable, so
I don't either.
I don't either.
But the story earlier, basically, we're going back to it.
All right. Landlines.
Nope.
I have not had a landline in my house in probably 20 years.
10 years
wow.
for me, yeah.
We still have a landline.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I think it's something with my dad's business, though, that you have to have a landline.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay.
All right. Print media. I still consume print media.
What print media do you consume?
Coffee table books. Like.
Those are books.
That's print media.
What coffee table book?
Like a.
Yeah, like
Glamour.
Like
Glamour magazine and things like that is I would call print media,
print
something that's
media.
out monthly, not books.
I mean, I have a college football coffee table book.
Okay.
I have a The Crown and Vogue. Princess Diana.
Everybody gets the crown.
Duh.
Yeah.
And I do have like Southern. My mom gets like Southern Living.
They still print Southern Living?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh,
Southern
yeah,
Living.
Southern
Okay,
Living.
that's going to be it.
I did not know that.
Guns and ammo.
Yeah, Garden and Gun.
Darn it, gun.
Now
Car
we
and
do.
driver.
My home
Road
gets
and
all
track.
of those.
We
I'm
do.
not kidding.
We do. No joke. We do when we go on a beach trip. Maggie and I will swing by a local
magazines.
Publix and pull up an Us and
Yeah.
Us Weekly.
just all the gossip
Yeah.
stuff. We sit there.
For years I
talk
called
about people.
For years I called
Can
that.
you believe she's with him?
I used to think that was U.S. Weekly. I would call it U.S. Weekly. Yeah. And then somebody's like, that's Us Weekly, right? I did not know that.
Yeah, I still can. And then the second one, I actually recently sent one of these, a greeting card.
We do holiday cards.
Yeah, we do Christmas cards as well.
I'm sorry, I don't know why I called it
No, I
holiday
think
cards.
they're
Christmas
talking
cards.
about going
No,
to
this is-
the drugstore
yeah.
getting a Valentine's card.
I have Valentine's Day cards ready to send to my friends.
Now, my wife bought some of these last night for my daughter's teachers. But I'll tell you something I do. I don't do it as often as I should, but I've got, this makes me sound super old, but I've got personalized stationery, just a little card, and I'll write a handwritten letter to people.
Yes, I got personalized stationery for Christmas.
I've got personalized stationery.
I think we should all use it more.
Well,
I still haven't used that Jennifer made for me.
I know. My wife gave it to you and Lance for Christmas one year.
Yep.
I remember
Good
that.
gift. I think a thank you note and a handwritten note go so far.
Yeah, I try to do some handwritten notes to people that have been meaningful or do something kind for me and as a thank you.
I've sent one on that stationery since your wife gave it to me.
Yeah.
Did you send it to the person that gave it to you?
Jennifer,
I
thank
did
you
not.
for this
I sent it to Nick Saban.
That would have been awesome.
Nick
I just sent it to Nick and Terry.
Did you
Aw.
really?
Wait, when you, like in the last month?
No.
Well, this would be a great time.
Going into the year.
Dearest Nikki, this
Hope
tear-stained
this note
letter.
finds you well.
Hope this tear-stained letter finds you well.
Jim, again.
The enemy
Hopefully
from the
this one
south
makes
is
it
closing in.
Please don't retire.
They've got us surrounded.
All right, next one, specialty home appliances. So this is espresso machines, coffee machines, bread makers. I do not agree with this at all. I feel like people are consuming this, especially my age, even more.
Oh, the old air fryer is hot right now. Everybody's got one of those. And we got one of those Keurig deals.
We had Keurig, got rid of that because it doesn't make great coffee.
I'm not a coffee snob.
We have an adult coffee maker. That makes a lot of coffee.
Oh.
This coffee's rated X.
Yeah. What is adult coffee?
We do have air fryer.
Baileys?
No, it's more than just one cup.
Yeah, it's something that a coffee snob would want.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. And then we've got some that you pour over.
Oh, I got
some French presses.
My wife bought one of those because they came back. My daughter was in Guatemala on a mission trip. She came back with Guatemalan coffee, but it's ground coffee. And we're like, well, what? I can't put this in the Keurig. What am I supposed to do with this? So they went out and bought one of those deals where you put the little filter in and you heat it and you pour it. And I'm like, that is a lot of work.
Pour over French press.
Yeah, just give me a Diet Coke.
Because you do that and then you press it down.
Yeah.
Squeeze out the
I got
beans.
zero interest in that.
No.
It did smell good though.
All right, larger vehicles. I don't agree with this either.
Yeah, SUVs.
So
this is anti-EG today.
Yeah, it is. I don't think that people are not buying large vehicles.
Oh, no,
I
people are buying
want
them.
a large
Yeah.
vehicle.
Yeah, safer in wrecks.
And
for
So
me.
that new car you're in's not enough for you. You want a bigger one?
no, I think I like that car a lot, but I want to keep gradually getting larger vehicles. Feel safer on the roads.
Yep, you should.
All right, in-store shopping. I love an in-store shopping experience.
Yeah, my wife's still doing that.
Yeah.
I do too. Sadly, I don't do it as much anymore. It's just so convenient.
I think some
Online.
things are more convenient online, but
I
for
just
the
don't like
most
leaving
part-
home. That's my deal.
Okay, I have a Costco couch, and this one is about a Costco couch. Woman returns Costco couch after 2 years. Test limits of return policy. I just didn't like it anymore. They gave her a full refund.
I mean, that's
BS.
absurd.
BS.
Full refund.
That's gaming. That woman's cheap and she's cheating the
Yep.
system.
That's right. Don't be smirking on my TV screen.
Yeah.
I don't have time for
Decorate
her.
your damn wall.
And
Yeah, really.
to make
She probably
matters
did. And she took the pictures back. Why is she living in a tiny house?
to make matters worse, she didn't even have a receipt. She made the worker look up the date of purchase,
BS.
and they still gave her a full refund.
Horse crap.
BS.
Horse crap.
I do have a
BS.
Costco couch, and it's wonderful. So,
Yeah.
workplace TV shows that perfectly capture the industries they're set in. Let me know if you guys have seen these.
Okay.
The Newsroom, Dunaway.
Dunaway,
One's
you
you.
saw that.
No, it's not exactly right. It's not exactly right, but there were some nuances to that. It was a great show. It was a great show.
What would you give it in terms of accuracy?
If 10 is perfectly accurate, I would
560
say
is the highest.
I would
Negative
say
2.
I would say 7.5.
Oh, that's not bad.
All right. We are not in the tech industry, but Silicon Valley.
I never watched that. People say it's really funny.
Oh, it's
Really funny.
hilarious. I watched,
TJ is that show.
yeah, I watched the whole thing. I've never been in that industry. I was in the first industry, so I don't know how realistic it is. So I too will put that at 7.5.
What was his name in the show?
Yeah, I can't remember.
Okay. Good.
Johnny.
It was one word.
One word name.
I think I'm the only
Nylander?
one.
Is it Nylander? Is something? It's something.
Never mind. Go ahead. I didn't mean to derail. Go ahead.
The morning show.
Well, this
No,
is
it's-
just like the Newsroom. It's way over the top.
Yeah, I haven't.
7.5.
By the way, you're not giving back grade to anything. I've watched it and it's some of the stuff, and I haven't even worked in TV that much. I do TV 30 minutes every week, right, at 33:40, and I'm like, come on now, that's not the least bit realistic.
Yeah.
Abbott Elementary.
I've never taught elementary school. I don't know.
I've
Apparently
only watched
captures
one
it well.
episode of this.
Could you be like 7.5?
I liked it. I liked it. It did have kids age appropriate, so I'd say 7.5.
7.5, all right?
7.5.
Jim gets 7.5.
And then we've got The Bear.
I've never worked in a restaurant, but God, it makes it look miserable.
It does. I think I would just get pissed off
7.5?
saying chef so much.
Yes, chef.
Yes,
What do you
chef.
give it, Jim?
Thank you, chef. About a 7.5.
Yes, yes, chef.
Yeah.
Can anyone?
Hey, how about I watched all those shows? Though? That's a
Yeah,
rarity.
that
I noticed
is.
that, yeah.
Can anyone do an Australian accent? Because I feel like that might be.
Jim's perfect
Jim,
at it.
good
You know
day,
what it is?
Good day, mate.
Is that it?
What are you grilling over
Even
there?
better. Is that it?
Tell me what you...
Pip, Governor, you'd like to get a little shrimp on the Barbie?
Okay.
Get a little shrimp on the Barbie?
Awesome Australian.
No, it's 1920s Australian.
Well, that fella, we're going to go out there. We're going to watch the big boxing match and then the horse race.
And then we'll go down and see some flappers.
I give it a 7.5.
7.5?
I'll take that.
Awesome Australian slang terms you should know. Should I try an Australian accent? I'm on the clock.
Do it, please. Yeah, you're on the clock.
Hold on.
Yeah.
I got to get in the mindset.
Are you good at accents?
I can do an English accent.
Well, then this is just redneck.
Can you do an English person in an Australian accent?
Yeah.
Arvo. Got a cobber.
Give me your British accent.
Hello. How are you today?
Hello.
I'm doing all right. How's your mom and them?
And mine was bad.
King Charles.
King Charles. He's sick
Jim
right
Dunaway.
Just because you're
Quite an
whispering doesn't
interesting-
make it British.
Dunaway's
That's British.
right. No, you're just
This is
whispering.
British. No, this is British. The
Okay,
next round.
that is more.
That is British.
That is more.
It's more posh British.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, it is a little
Windsor.
posh spice, yeah.
Okay, so arvo is an Australian slang for afternoon. Cobber, Australian word for friend. Isky. That was kind of good. An insulated cooler for food and drinks. Full as a goog.
That means I'm stuffed.
Very drunk, yeah, very full. Pash rash.
Means I
Go. What is it?
Pash rash.
hung out with the platypus last night.
Yeah.
Red
It's
irritated
so common
skin.
it has a term.
What?
Red irritated skin as a result of a
As I said.
The old pash rash. Yeah.
root.
You're welcome.
No, that is not what that means.
Oh, it doesn't?
No,
What does it mean?
it's a term for sex. This one can really get foreigners in trouble.
Yeah, that's why I said
I
you're
tell you
welcome.
what, I root for that woman over there.
No, that's what they said.
Oh, boy.
Americans coming to Australia telling people which team they root for.
Oh.
She'll be apples.
Dolphins.
The Australian phrase meant everything will be all right. She'll be apples.
And it will
Super
be.
apples.
That is Trash Today, brought to you by our friends
Okay.
at Mortgage
Time's
Right.
up.
Apparently it is.
No, time's up. Andy Kennedy coming up.
Tell us about Mortgage Right.
MortgageRight.com/TNR. That needs to be your first stop when you're ready to buy a new home or refinance your current home. Excuse me. MortgageRight.com/TNR. NMLS 2239. Equal housing lender.
If you don't like your rate, get the Brown Special by just coughing.
My gosh, that came out of nowhere.
Right there. And
Excuse me.
They'll go, oh, you know Brown.
Brown.
Andy Kennedy. Big game tonight in Auburn, Alabama and Auburn. Big game at UAB on Thursday night. Number 20 Florida Atlantic, Final Four team at Bartow Arena to play UAB. We'll talk to AK next on TNR.
Follow Dunaway on Twitter and Instagram at Jim Dunaway.
Man, I love a good meal. I'm Jim Dunaway. A good meal is what you get with my friend Sterling at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster. We're talking great southern fried chicken, wonderful sides, hand-cut chicken fingers, po' boys, and those Mississippi Delta recipe tamales. You got a perfect menu for everybody. Champy's Chicken is perfect for watching the big game, or taking a meal to the lake house, down to the coast, or stay in the restaurant and dine in a great atmosphere. It's all made fresh to order right there on 119 in Alabaster, Champy's Chicken.
Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. The social media team at Next Round Live is dedicated to giving you daily news conferences and practice video from UAB, Alabama, Auburn, and around college football. Follow and compare to the sites you used to visit. You'll also get the latest highlights and news from the Next Round Daily Show. Turn on the notifications so you don't miss a thing. Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. See more at nextroundlive.com.
Fire damage to your home or business is something you never want to consider. Ryan Brown here from The Next Round. But in the horrible event it happens, Dry Tech is here to help. They respond quickly and will reply to you within 20 minutes when you call 205-637-0143. They're working for you, the customer, not the insurance company. They've got 5 crews ready to go 24/7. Don't call the insurance company first. Call Dry Tech. Just remember this website, mydrytech.com. That is mydrytech.com.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. The social media team at Next Round Live is dedicated to giving you daily news conferences and practice video from UAB, Alabama, Auburn, and around college football. Follow and compare to the sites you used to visit. You'll also get the latest highlights and news from the Next Round Daily Show. Turn on the notifications so you don't miss a thing. Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. See more at nextroundlive.com.
On the field or in the office, you need a solid team and a strong game plan if you want to beat the competition. Xerox Business Solutions Southeast offers everything from printers to managed IT services, as well as hybrid work hardware solutions through our titanium partnership with Dell. For championship-level office solutions, get Xerox Business Solutions Southeast into your starting lineup. Visit xbssoutheast.com/win. Touchdown!
Okay, Alabama and Auburn tonight. Auburn's a 5.5-point favorite, 6 o'clock. And then on Thursday night, number 20, Florida Atlantic, in town to play UAB. And because of quality of play, I'm going to say it's a rivalry game now because I
think it is.
These two teams have, because they're good, have developed a little bit of a rivalry. So this is the crowd. The crowd at Bartow the other day for the Memphis game was tremendous. I think this is the type of atmosphere you need Thursday night at Bartow to give UAB that home court advantage you need to beat a team like Florida Atlantic.
Well, let's talk to the coach of the UAB Blazers. Coach Andy Kennedy joins us each week, and he does so courtesy of Legacy Credit Union. AK, how are you today?
Hey, guys, I'm good. You?
Doing fantastic. I know one got away. We're going to talk about the upcoming game, but let's look back real quick. I know it got away from you a little bit in Dallas. You've told us before you were miserable until the next game tips. It wasn't a case, though, of your team like having that Memphis hangover. It was just a tough-fought game, it seemed.
Yeah, we came back after Memphis and we snapped North Texas's 17-game home winning streak. We were behind the majority of the game, as many as 17 actually in the second half, and continued to grind and fight and got the game to overtime where we took our first lead of the entire game in overtime, hard to believe, and came out victorious. And then we went to Dallas trying to get the Texas sweep and against a really good SMU team. We were really efficient offensively when we weren't turning it over. Turnovers ended up being our undoing. We committed 15 on the day, put SMU in a position to make some plays to win the game, and that's exactly what they did. So there really was no hangover at all after Memphis. We just weren't able to be as efficient as you need to be on the road to get the sweep in Texas.
When you're up basically double digits with 10 minutes to go in the game, those really have to stick with you longer, though, right? That you're 10 minutes away from a double-digit victory and you sort of let it slip away. What do you learn from something like that, AK?
Well, in our sport, you got to keep playing. They got this thing called a shot clock. You can't run it up the middle and just kind of wind the clock out with a couple of first downs. You got to keep playing. And for us, the 15 turnovers are just ridiculous. We ended up shooting 48% from the field. We didn't get to the foul line as much as we typically do, and we didn't do a great job off our glass, but ultimately it was the turnovers. We play a possessions game. We had some costly ones, and give SMU credit, man. They made a couple of really timely shots that put us on our heels.
Okay, so here comes Florida Atlantic, nationally ranked, Thursday night. It's an 8 o'clock, so plenty of time after work to get there, have a nice dinner, come to Bartow Arena to watch this classic matchup now. How different is this team from the one we saw last year?
I think they're better. Last year they had obviously a phenomenal run to get all the way to the Final Four. They returned the majority of those players, and they've actually added some depth along their front line, kids that were on the team last year that have developed now into really solid contributors. John L. Davis They call him Nelly. Man, is he something. He's playing at an all-American type level. I don't think there's any question he's the best player in the AAC. He's a guy that I think is going to play multiple years in the NBA. He's got a little Jamal Crawford. Remember the great sixth man in the NBA forever? Got a little Jamal Crawford to his game and his ability to truly be a three-level scorer. In league play, they're 8-1. They had their only loss was a 2-point loss at Charlotte in their second league game. They've since run off 7 straight. And in league play, this kid's averaging around 23 points, about 7 rebounds. His shooting numbers are ridiculously efficient. 55 from the field, 58 from 3, 92 from the line. Again, if he continues on this pace, I don't think there's any question he'll be a first-team All-American. And they're a team, again, probably the only one still standing after Memphis's breakdown over the last few weeks. They righted the ship a little bit by stopping that 4-game skid by beating Wichita State, and they've still got time to right the ship. But right now, FAU is the only one out of this league that has the resume as of today to be in the at-large conversation. Again, I think Memphis can play their way back into that conversation, and they've still got FAU twice. But FAU is without question the cream of the crop in this league. We'll have our hands full Thursday, but the last time they came in here nationally ranked last year, they came in at 19. They were on a 20-game winning streak, and we actually handled them pretty readily. So huge opportunity for us. I know our guys will be excited.
28th in the Ken Palm, 25th in the net is where you find Florida Atlantic. So these aren't just empty words from AK to try to fire a team up. The analytics back up what he's saying about this team. And if I'm not mistaken, you guys are calling for a blackout, right? Let's pack Bartow and everybody wear black?
I think so. I think that's what we're doing. We're going straight Johnny Cash. I like it.
So do you like Johnny Cash? You a Johnny Cash guy?
Oh, of course. Who doesn't?
Oh, I love Johnny Cash. Did you like Walk the Line, the movie that Joaquin Phoenix did?
I did. Yeah, I've got an eclectic musical taste, but I like I'm a little more in the hip hop genre. I love reggae, but I'm a big Johnny Cash guy.
Yeah. Reggae. Yeah. We talked about Bob Marley yesterday. Was it his birthday yesterday?
One Love. Yes, it was. One Love, the movie's coming out. Sort of like Walk the Line, but
but Bob Marley.
But Bob Marley.
Instead of Johnny Cash.
Well, I think we've had this conversation before. If we sat down and said, okay, name the 5 most influential people in all of music, Bob Marley would be in my top 5. You're talking about really creating a genre and making it worldwide. He took this little thing called reggae off this little island and made it a worldwide phenomenon. I think he'd be in the top 5 most influential musicians of all time.
Me too. 4, right ahead of Taylor Swift at 5. Correct?
Did you ever?
I'll have to defer to Andy Reid on that
one. Did you ever encounter Toby Keith? Did you have any sort of interaction with him?
I did not, man. What a great American he is, too, man.
Yeah.
Our heartfelt sentiments go out to his family. 62 is too young.
Yeah, it is.
Absolutely.
Tough battle with cancer.
Hey, back to your team real quick to set the table for Thursday night. FAU in town. The distribution of the basketball has been pretty good lately, though, right? Like Eric Gaines had 10 assists in the loss against SMU. But keeping that ball moving around, it does seem like he draws a lot of attention. Do you like the way he gives it up to other guys?
He's been good. His assist to turnover has been good all season. The issue with him has been just shot making, consistency in shot making. When we beat Memphis here a few games back, I thought he was the best player on the floor. He made threes. He made the right decisions. He was under control the entire game, and that's the kind of effort we're going to need out of him tomorrow night. Since we've been in league play, we're sitting here at 6-3 in the American Conference, still very much in control of our own fate. And our team has gotten much more efficient offensively. We're shooting it better. We're distributing it better. Turnovers have been an issue for us a little bit, more so in league play than non-league play, and that cannot be the case tomorrow. FAU is too dynamic on both sides of the ball. We cannot give them extra possessions by us being inefficient with the ball.
Is this the best basketball you've seen Butter Johnson play?
Yeah, I think he's really, coming into his own about midway through his sophomore season. He's a shot maker. He's confident. We're going to him, and he has really been delivering.
All right, tomorrow night, 8 o'clock, Bartow Arena, UAB, Florida Atlantic, nationally ranked FAU, huge game in the American Conference for UAB. as FAU is tied for the conference lead with South Florida. I will point out South Florida's only loss in conference. Coaches to who?
Yeah, we're the only one that beat them, and they're going to be, they're set up, beautifully. I don't know if we've talked about this, but in our league, and initially I was a proponent for it. Now I'm not so sure it's what's best for the overall league, but we went to this thing like a pod system as it related to scheduling. And because we were preseason ranked 4th in the league, we're in that top pod, meaning we play FAU, Memphis, Tulane, SMU, North Texas, the other teams around us twice. And I think South Florida was ranked 13th in the preseason, so they're playing the lower-level teams twice. They played us one time. We were fortunate enough to get them. They only played Memphis once. They beat Memphis in Memphis, and they've got FAU coming to their building. So things are set up well for them. They're playing good, and they're certainly got a favorable schedule to close.
All right, everybody go support the Blazers, wear black, pretend you're Johnny Cash, and go all black. Coach, thank you for the time. As Johnny Cash said in that movie, you look like you're going to a funeral. He says, maybe I am.
Maybe I am.
Let's make it FAU's funeral tomorrow night. Thank you, Coach. Good luck.
Definitely, guys. Thank you.
All right, take care. See you next week. Coach Andy Kennedy with us weekly, courtesy of Legacy Credit Union. He appeared on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline.
Yeah, friends at Legacy, I always want to tell you about their balance transfer when it comes to the Legacy credit card. You've got a different credit card right now and a high balance, right? And that's a high interest rate, sometimes into the 20s, high 20s. Transfer that over to a Legacy credit card, and for 6 months, you get 2.99% annual percentage rate, 8.9% APR new purchases right now. Terms and conditions may apply. See Credit Union for details. Federally insured by the NCUA. That's our friends at Legacy. LegacyCreditUnion.com. 9 convenient branches in the Birmingham metro area. Go check that out there. On National Signing Day, I was correct. 4-star wide receiver Ashton Bethel Roman has picked Texas A&M from Missouri City, Texas. 6'1", 180, a 4-star wide receiver. So he's in that class there. 5-star plus wide receiver Ryan Williams signed with Alabama. It means he's a 5-star across all services. He's a top 5 player in the 2024 class, and it's a recommitment, but today's the first day for him to sign, and he did that earlier. And he's being called one of the best players in Alabama high school football history by the recruiting services, like Hayes Fawcett calls him that, and he's the only Mr. Football, 2-time Mr. Football in state history.
Pat Sullivan, Bo Jackson, Julio Jones, Tony Nathan. I mean, that is a long list of really good high school football players in Alabama history.
Terry Bussey, 5-star plus athlete, picked Texas A&M today. So Mike Elko, defensive-minded guy, picked up a couple of playmakers on the final day of the signing period here, or the final signing day. But basketball is front and center tonight. Alabama and Auburn down at Neville Arena. Taylor Corn's there. Follow that all day long on social media. Check in afterwards at Next Round Live, and her and I will talk about the outcome of the game, and we'll have fun with that on our social platforms tonight. Set your alerts. Give us a thumbs up. And until next time, God bless you and God bless America.